into the room, and I knew I was doomed to fall for you. The moment I saw you smile, now everywhere you go, my eyes follow close, and I'm just waiting for the time to be right to tell you how I've loved you for a while. Oh, my heart is going wild. You wear me down like when the sea meets earth. I fade away just like the rocks have worn. Don't you see what you do to me? You keep crashing into me. I keep turning out to be something more than what I was before. Your skin touched my skin, and I could feel the breaking of my cold stone heart was about to begin. The moment that we locked eyes, now everywhere you go, my eyes follow close, and I'm just waiting for the time to be right to tell you how I've loved you for a while. Oh, my heart is going wild. You wear me down like when the sea
Good morning. Turn the mic on. Good morning. Good morning, you hexy things. Good morning, Mandy Crafty. Good morning, Jenny Wren. I am wearing my super sparkly, if you can see this, super sparkly t-shirt that arrived from Mandy Crafty. The first ever thing with my name on it. It's awesome and it fits just about. How is everybody doing? How is everybody? Oh dear, I completely forgot how to stream again. I just, honestly, if I take a break, I'm done. Jenny, I'm great, thank you, I'm great. I've had a lovely week off with the boys, but thankfully everyone is now back to work and back to school, and I can kind of try and figure out what's going on, because I somehow managed to start about 7 projects whilst they were off on their holidays. Just kept picking up little things and testing stuff, and my office this morning was an absolute tip, because obviously they've been in here using my PC as well. So I'm just trying to kind of figure out what I'm going to do. I've sort of stashed everything away, so I'm starting from scratch today. Starting from scratch. Yeah, we had a lovely couple of days away last week. We went to Telford in Shropshire, home of the Industrial Revolution, and it was fantastic. A really good breakaway, and I found some really cool books and things, and yeah, 7 projects. I was trying to count them up as I was tidying, and I just thought, oh good lord, why do I do this? Why do I do this? So maybe I'll run through some of those if I can find. They're all sort of piled up at the back there, but I'll run through those. But yeah, I went to Telford with the boys, took them to Bliss Hill, the Victorian village, to have a run around. And I also visited, finally, I've been waiting to go here for months and months and months. I went to the Jackfield Tile Museum, because I love tiles, and I'm guessing tiles, patchwork, it all kind of goes together. So I managed to pick up a couple of books whilst I was at the Tile Museum. There wasn't a lot to kind of do at the museum, but there was lots of tiles to look at, so I had great fun. And I'm going to swap camera views, and I'll show you the books that I picked up, because they are fantastic resource for quilt design and things. Psycho, good morning to you. Good morning. I need to catch up with you because I need to do a hexie for your subscription. So do remind me, please, because we need to pick a colour. We need to pick a colour for your hexie. But, yeah, so if I swap camera views, I can show you the books I picked up from the Tile Museum. Very excited, and I'm holding off starting any more projects right now because it's a bit too much. Here we go, desktop. I definitely need a new cover on my ironing board. So the first one I picked up was this. It's very ornate. Niku's lurking while working. That's fine. Thank you, Niku, and hi, Niku. So this is the first one I picked up. It's really ornamental. You can barely read the title, but it is a floriated ornament by Pugin. And inside here, this book is basically applique quilts. That is all I see in here. But if I flick through, it just gives you an idea of some of the designs. These are the original sort of watercolor designs and things, and then they are more stylized, and they're incredible. And I'm just seeing, every time I do this, every time I open the page, I just see another applique quilt design that needs developing. Check that out. Oh man. So I've been kind of flicking through this book going, oh, another one. And yeah, I'm not starting. I promise I'm not going to start on any of these, but I might have started a little something. But like page after page after page was just glorious, and I don't know if you can see the way they're intertwined here, like kind of Celtic knots and things like that. They're just stunning. So watch this space, because this will be developed further, I'm sure. And I'm trying to incorporate hexies into applique at the moment. Look at that one. So that was my first book, and it is literally just a design source, a design reference. But you see, this one I can see repeated in many elements. Yeah, so just a design source. But this, again, you could adapt this. Quite a few of these designs could be replacing the flowers with a hexie or something. And I can show you some blocks that I've been working on over the last 12 months, actually, with the hexies and applique. That may be a little too ornate for me. Oh, isn't it, Niku? I love this sort of Victorian style. kind of arts and crafts moving into the Art Deco. And yeah, absolutely stunning. So I picked this one up, and then I managed to get a whole tile catalogue. It's kind of reproduced, but a really old catalogue from Minton Tile Works, which is actually in Stoke-on-Trent, but they worked very closely at that time. And this one again is there's no hexies. I think, but the whole time we were at the Tile Museum. Good morning, Minion Mama. How are you? How are you? The whole time we were at the Tile Museum, it was all squares. I think we saw 2 hexy tiles whilst we were there. The kids were screaming, "There's a hexie over here!" But it's still, in terms of patchwork, there is a lot. I mean, this is very detailed. It's making the camera go funny. But these are obviously mosaics, very small mosaics. But again, to me, this is just, I see patchwork everywhere I'm looking. It's just stunning. So another kind of resource, and just ideas. I mean, these are simple blocks, patchwork blocks. Oh, there are some hexies there, look. I don't know if we can see that, but they're just glazed white hexies. No funky hexie designs as such. But like I say, from an applique design point of view, there is definitely some style elements here that could be incorporated, and they get more and more elaborate. And again, this kind of ties in with the Islamic geometry and things as well, so I'm going to have a lot of fun. That one I can see being done in paper piecing. Yeah, I'm going to have a lot of fun going through these over the next couple of months and seeing if I can incorporate any of this into my patchwork. There we go. Absolutely gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. And fascinating process. And I didn't realise that at the Tile Museum they still manufacture tiles at Jackfield, which was quite interesting. But unfortunately we couldn't see the physical process happening. So you were just sort of wandering around all the display cabinets with all the different tiles. And I might eventually get it all on Instagram, I don't know. I don't know. Oh dear. Oh dear. I keep seeing that this is a very sparkly t-shirt that Mandy Crafty made for me. And it keeps reflecting the lights, so I do apologise. Sparkly boobs. So yeah, today we had an awesome stream. Last stream, Dirk Plug was incredibly generous with the bits and pushed us to our next year goal, which had been 3,000 bits. And so I need to do some papers for the giveaway jar, because this month's giveaway we're doing different papers. If I get the jar over, oh, got cables running everywhere today. So we were doing the different papers. I was cutting out papers for you to be able to make your own kind of hexy petal thing. So we've been cutting out those, and for every 250 bits there's a block's worth of papers. But obviously with Dirk and the others on the last stream being very, very frivolous, we are behind now, and I don't actually have any more papers cut. And so I've been telling you about the funky Cameo cutter machine. I've managed to wheedle all the cables around and get it up on the cutting desk. So I'm going to have a go at cutting some more live. What could go wrong? Because I think we've got 8 sets of papers already, 8 blocks worth, but 3,000 bits should actually be 12 blocks worth. So we need to cut 4 more sets of papers today. So I thought I'll try and do it, and we'll see how it works. Oh, let's see if I can. I've got no space in this room. No space. Ah, there we go. Level surface. Level surface is good. And Nova. Good evening, Nova. How are you doing? Thank you for the bits. Oh wow. Okay, so we'll cut a few extra sets then, because it looks like Nova's got the party started. Excuse me. Thank you very much, Nova. Thank you. So I need to cut these bits, and I thought I'm going to try and show you the software. I think I've managed to get the stream set up so it will show you. Oh dear. Minion Mama, do not worry about it at all. I will try and quickly cut a set for you so you can see this thing working. And feels like you haven't seen us in a month. Probably because you haven't, Nova. You've been away and things, haven't you? Have you had a good break away from it all, or? I say obviously I was off all of last week, and this is my only stream this week because I am going to be helping Roxana at a quilt show now at the weekend. So I'm leaving tomorrow to go down to Cambridgeshire for a quilt show, so I do apologise. This is the only stream. Oh, sponsored by Nescafe and their free mug. Sorry. I'm terrible in the supermarket. If there's a free something, I get it. Right, so cutting, Cameo. I think I've set this up so that the software should appear on the screen if I hit a button. We'll see. Shall I hit the button? Let's see what happens. If I do that, Mini Mama, next stream will be Monday the 29th. Monday the 29th. I will be back because I haven't figured out streaming from public places yet. And obviously it's not my stall or stands that I'll be working on. I don't really feel comfortable streaming from Roxana's stand at the show, and I don't know where we stand with privacy and stuff. So Monday next week will be my next stream. Anyway, I'm going to hit the button, and hopefully what's going to happen is my little head's going to jump into the hexie, and you're going to see the software that I use for cutting shapes. No, it's gone! Dang nabbit! Right. No! Is that better? Pro streaming. Oh. Let's make that full screen. Is that a bit better? Of course, the problem is I can't actually see my chat window now, so that's not helpful, is it? Oh. What are we going to do? Let's just... Too many windows. Toggle that a bit. So anyway, as you can see on the screen, hopefully, that is the shapes that I've designed in this software and laid them out so they fit onto a piece of A4 card. And you can do all different shapes, sizes and things, but at the minute I've just figured out doing hexies. And I've also, if you can see, I've put the circles in the centre there. It's going to cut those circles out as well so that we can pop a pin through it. So it really is this simple that you just drag and click and draw. So I go into the design mode. Is that okay? You can see the design mode, and I can draw different shapes and things. If I do that, I can draw different shapes. Let's undo. So I can do all the different things that I would normally be doing, but this is what I've done for the hexie petals. And it was a bit tricky because we had to draw a hexagon and then a circle and then merge them. But we figured it out. I have to keep toggling because my chat window's over there. So once you've done the design, basically I need to send it to the cutter. And the cutter's the funky bit. That's the bit that I find very, very exciting. But first, before I can send it, I need to get the cutting pad ready. So if we come back to front camera, I'm going to get the stuff ready to get the cardboard laid out on the special cutting mat. And then we can send it through. It's rather funky. It looks like a laminator. But inside it's actually got a little ratchet blade mounted on a... So it's like a printer, but with a blade attached. So it's very funky. And it uses one of these cutting mats. So let's do this here. So you can see that. This is just a protective cover. Because underneath this is a sort of tacky, it's a bit well used to be honest. It's a tacky mat. And what I'm going to do is just put a piece of card on this, and then we're going to feed that through the machine. And it's going to cut. In theory. In theory. So, just regular A4 card. Obviously, I don't know, I guess in the States you buy your paper in different sizes, don't you? Letter size rather than A4, but it would still work. This is a 12 by 12 cutting mat. I'm guessing it's designed for like scrapbooking and things, but I have found a new way to use it. So I'm just kind of rubbing that all over to make sure that it sticks to the mat and it's not going to lift off when it's cutting. There was no scraper with it, but I did find this gadget for cleaning out the freezer, so I'm just using that instead. I'm guessing a credit card would do too. There we go. So like I say, I'm still very new at this, but I have figured out how to cut hexies, so I am happy. Right, so if I go back to this one, I'm going to load this into the machine now with the arrow. Obviously there's an arrow there, so I'm going to put that in first. And there's a guide. There's a guide on the machine to line up against, so that's what we're doing. Hit the button. So that's going to load that in. Oh, Mandy Crafter uses a wallpaper seam roller. Oh, okay. I use one of those for paper piecing, so I definitely have one in a box over there. So that's it loaded, and then all we do is hit the send button, and then it goes and does its thing, and it cuts out. So here we go. Please cut, please cut. It's very noisy, that's the only thing I would say. I'm going to leave it open so you can see it just doing its thing. Just going to move it forward so there is clearance at the back. But yeah, it's cutting. How awesome is that? And it is much quieter if I close the lid, but I wanted you guys to be able to see what's happening really. And I think I'm definitely going to invest in one of these machines for myself, for sure. Oh dear. So Mandy Crafter, you've got a different version, haven't you? You've got a Cricut cutter. Is yours this noisy? Because that's loud to me. But this is very old. It might be it's actually damaged. I don't know. Oh, Psycho, this is a silhouette cameo. A silhouette cameo. And it's a cutting machine. So it's cutting out my custom hexie shapes that I've designed. And Mandy Crafty tells me the Cricut Air is much quieter, so I'm guessing this one is just old. I borrowed it off a friend to test it to see if it's worth spending a couple of £100 on it. We're nearly there now, we're nearly there. It's not fast, but it's fast enough for me as a home user to cut my own shapes. It's perfect, it's perfect. So I'm gonna close the lid. So it's slightly quieter when you close the lid. Sounds good, sounds good. Right, so it's done, it's done. So if I hit the button again, it's gonna unload. There we go. And I don't know if you can see this, let's swap. So you can just see now on the paper there, it has cut those shapes. And if I just peel at the edge here, check it out. This is, do you know, I honestly, a bit of wee came out when I figured out when I first did this, because I think it's insane. So we have the funky leftovers, and then I can just go through now and just peel my shapes off. But check these out. And because I've designed the shapes to have the hole in the centre, we can pin them straight to the fabric. Oh, Minion Mama, it is very cool. But they are very expensive, which is why I borrowed one off a friend. Because I haven't got this kind of money at the moment. But I think I might have to put it on the Christmas list. So there we go. Look at that. That was so exciting. So exciting. And to make use of the space, there was actually a couple of extra hexies cut out each time. But there we go. They are the pieces for this that we're doing for this month's giveaway. There we are. Da, da, da. One hexie petal flower. Isn't it cool? Isn't it cool? Or is it just me that gets a little bit excited by tech? I could see how it'd be really good for lots of other things. And I think that's how Mandy Crafty made my t-shirt for me. So there we go. So that's one set. We need to cut another 4 or 5, I think, to catch up with this month's giveaway papers. So I've still got the leftover bits here. So I'm just going to scrape them off, basically. No worries, Minion Mama. You look after yourself, get some sleep, and I will see you again soon. So I'm just scraping off those little dots because we don't need those. Job done. But it's brilliant because I can obviously cut the holes now rather than trying to hole punch them later. And they're always in the same place. And it's always perfect. So let's just grab a bit more card. So I need to do 5 sets, I think. We're going to need 5 sets of these. So there is a guide on the cutting mat. I will get some new cutting mats as well. Anna Lou, hello you. Hello you. Have you got a day off today? So that's good enough. I haven't found it lifting too much. Like I say, it needs re-sticking, but it's working well enough. Anna Lou, I'm just playing with the silhouette cameo today. I'm trying to show you how I cut these funky shapes for the giveaway jar. Oh no, Anna Lou. How much? How long for? It's very exciting, Anna Lou. I get excited every time I hit the button on this thing. It makes me squee. So I'm just going to load another sheet in and we'll just keep going. Feel like your mum may have a machine like this. Do. Raid it, because it's a lot of fun. The learning curve on the software wasn't that long. It's pretty much WYSIWYG. You can just start cutting. So let's load the next sheet. I'm going to close the lid this time because it is basically it's quite noisy. So I think a new one might be better because it will be quieter. Oh, Anna Lou, I'm sorry to hear that, my lovely. 3 weeks. Oh. Oh. So yes, confetti, lots of confetti. Put it in the jar though, I don't need it. So I'm going to leave that doing what it's doing. So it's quite labour intensive really. Obviously it does the cutting, but you still have to do all the peeling and the prepping and whatnot. So whilst that's happening, I can just tie these ones together because I don't want to lose them. So I'm just using little bits of baker's twine to hold the blocks together. And then once these are done, I'm going to start on a new patchwork project. Because you know me, I like to get distracted. Hey Kerry, how are you doing? Apologies for the background noise. We've got a cutting machine running, but it's very noisy. So that's another set. Oh dear. So I'm just showing everybody the silhouette cameo. And like I say, this is an old one. It's probably 4 or 5 years old. I don't think it's been stored particularly well. But it is working right now. I might be able to oil it, grease it, change the blade, who knows. But it's working for me right now. You're okay, Kerry. Oh, brilliant. Are you on half term this week? Your kid's on half term this week? There we are, next one. Hey. There we go, Kerry. They're all cut out. Check it out. And then we can just peel. So exciting. So I'll try and get these off as quickly as I can and just get the next one running. So I definitely need a new mat. Might need a new blade as well. That might make it quieter. Hey Thor, how are you? My goodness, I've not seen you in a while. How are things in Norway? Definitely feeling decidedly autumnal here now. There we go. So let's get the next sheet loaded up and we just keep repeating ourselves. And I think this is the only problem with this. It would be nice if I could feed a couple of sheets at a time in. Oh, it's got a job, hooray! A 16:22 shift, is that 4 till 10? Do you mean? Or a 16-hour to 22-hour? Because that sounds crazy. Right, load this one in. Alrighty-roo. Yeah, it would be nice if I could just repeat multiple copies, but you have to kind of do it one by one, which is fine. Fine for this. Just check 2, 3, 4, 6 petals. Oh. Keep losing my chat window. Oh, it's a yarn shop. Oh. Psycho's like, oh, go find it, Psycho. Ah, Kerry. Oh, months. Wow. Kerry, thank you so much for resubscribing. Oh my goodness me. Oh my goodness me. I'm going to tie these together so we don't lose them, and then I'm going to make you a hexie. Thank you, Alexi. In fact, I'll do Psychos as well when he comes back. Sub height, yeah. 4 months, Kerry. Crazy. Is that a dabbing cat? Is that a dabbing cat bar? Oh my. Oh dear. So there we go, there's another set done. And I'm just tying them with a little knot. Dabbing. Oh, my son's constantly dabbing. I've basically figured out that if I sneeze into my elbow, that's kind of dabbing. Kind of, because it's a mum thing to do, to embarrass your children, isn't it? Wow, thank you, Kerry. That was a bit quieter now. I can't hear myself think when that's running. I will dig out the sub stuff, and hopefully Psycho will come back from searching for this machine himself. Oh, Anna Lou, no worries. Hopefully when you get back, I'll be working on some patchwork. I just wanted to get the cutting done first, straight away, and then I can do some patchworky things. But yeah, get some fresh air, deep breaths, fill the stomach, and we'll see you soon. Let's do that. And that's the next set. So I'm probably going to give this a break for a minute now because it is quite noisy. And we'll just keep track of where we're at. That's another 3 sets. So there's another one to get in the jar. And I'll do some extras as well. So yeah, this is all Mandy Crafty's fault because she bought one of these machines and has been telling me how amazeballs it is. And then I remembered a friend of mine had one that she said, I've never used it, I've never figured it out. And so I was like, can I borrow it? Can I have a play? And I've been playing a lot and cutting out all sorts of silly things, which was one of the other projects I started whilst the kids were on holiday. It's quite nice because although they're on holiday, they tend to play out quite a bit. So I have time to do other things for me. Right, I've changed my mind. I'm going to print this last one because then I'm up to date and I don't have to worry about it. You all know I'm a butterfly and I change my mind all the time. Because it's done. Done is done. Done is good. Okie doke. Let's send that. Okay. Job done. 3, 4, 5, 6. So many different uses. There is. We've got a wayward one there. Look, it's not behaving. All line up. Come on. So yeah, definitely on my list for Santa this. Oh, I've dropped your twine. Oh well. Like giant buttons when they're like this with the holes in. I'm guessing I better design a quilt with these in too. 1, 2, 3, and we've got number 4 cutting, and then we're going to be up to date. There's going to be 12 blocks worth of papers in the giveaway jar. And the giveaway will be next Wednesday, won't it? Next Wednesday, end of the month. And like I say, I get all these extra ones as part of the process because I didn't want to waste the paper. So they can just go in my box of 1.5-inch XEs. Right. I'll tidy up whilst I'm waiting for that. And I quite like the leftover bits as well. There must be something I could use as a stencil, you know? I've definitely use those as a stencil of some sort. So for now, we'll just chuck them down there. Alrighty. Come on, there we go. Right, so I can do this last. Oh, that's so satisfying. Just peel that off. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Job done. pop that over there for now. We'll get these tied up in the jar, and then I'm going to make the hexie for Kerry and Psycho, because Psycho resubscribed a little while ago and I was caught on the hop then. I didn't have everything ready, so I'll be able to get Psycho to pick your hexie as well. Oh, dropped the twine, didn't I? That's what I have to remember. Oh dear, here we go. So apparently they'll cut all different materials as well, but I haven't experimented at all. I haven't even experimented with cutting fabric yet, but we'll see. Papers are enough for me. So we have four more sets to make up for the bits that we got last stream from Dirk, Anna Lou, Insane. We have quite a few bits chucked at us, so we are now up to date with the giveaway jar. We have 12 sets of papers in the jar, and we'll give those away next Wednesday. Oh dear, subs. So we're changing it up this time now, because I ran out of papers to do the little hearts, and so we're moving to making coloured hexies, and I'm going to stitch you all together into a quilt. At the minute I've just got your names on the back. I haven't written your names on the front, but I think I will write your names on the front so I can see who is who on the subscription front. But Kerry, oh no, Kerry will be in York next week. Well, there's some good things in York, Kerry. There's a quilt museum for a starter. Oh dear. So Kerry, I've got some different rainbow coloured hexies there. Look, what colour would you like me to make your hexie in? And I've got some pre-made as well from another project, so I thought I could sneak those in. So Kerry, do you have a preference for your colour? And this green is really vibrant, but unfortunately on camera it's not coming out so nicely, but it's quite a limey green. Quite a limey green. Blue please, little turquoisey blue. There we go. That's going to be Kerry. So if I write your name on the paper, and then I can figure out how I'm going to transfer names to the hexies. There we go. And I'm just thread basting these using any old thread. Oh, bless you, Kerry. You can always catch them on the VOD. Oh, noisy. Let's find a needle. Yeah, obviously there's the York Centre. There's the Railway Museum, which is awesome. And yes, there is a quilt museum, Quilters Guild. I've never been because York is actually a long way away. Well, I say a long way away. It's a long drive, and I think we're going to try and go sometime next year and just stay over like we did. We went to Ironbridge this last week, and we stayed in the hotel for a night, which meant we had sort of 2 days rather than sitting in the car and driving 6 hours. Where is the museum? It's in the centre of York, Kerry. I will send you a link if you like later. Oh, I can't remember the name of the street now, but I will find out the details for you for sure, because it's run by the Quilters Guild, and of course I'm going to be demonstrating for them next year at their AGM, so I'm kind of nervous, starting to panic a bit. I'm demonstrating my hexagamis, so I've been frantically working away on samples. I think that's part of the problem, Kerry. Not a lot of people knew it was there. And York, like I say, in terms of being a national museum, it's quite a long way from the rest of the country, you know? Yeah, we'll find some details for you, Kerry. And I've just found out as well, the Welsh Quilt Museum at Lampeter is closing at the end of this year. And that's another one of those ones I've been meaning to get to. But it is a long way from where we are, so it takes some serious planning to get there. You're going all week with your parents? Oh, fantastic. You've been to the one in Bath? Oh, that's the American Museum, isn't it, a Bath? I've not been to that one either. My problem is that obviously I'm the only one in the family that's really interested in quilts, and trying to figure it so that I can... Oh no, Thar googled it and it says closed permanently. I did understand that there was a problem and it was closing, but I thought they'd managed to oh no, rescue it and open it. Ah, well there you go. York clearly was not the place for it. Peas Home Green, yes, yeah, that sounds about right, yeah. So it's gone altogether. What a shame. What a shame. There we go. So Kerry, your name is on the back of here at the moment. Sneak you out. Thank you so much for resubscribing. I'm going to write your name on there later. I've just got to figure out how I'm going to transfer names because the Pigma pens I've got have run out, so I need to get some new pens. Oh, that really sucks. I'm going to copy that link and read up on it later. Copy link address. Yeah, I thought there'd been some kind of rescue deal done, but obviously not. Obviously not. There we are, Kerry. Thank you very much. Now, is Psycho back yet? Because they said they were going to run off to the shop. Are you back here, Psycho? We shall see. If not, I can pick the colours later. Right. That's those bits. I'm pretty sure Iron Bandgram's going to have the green. Yay, Psycho, it's at home. Fantastic. Oh, whilst you're here, Psycho, do you want to pick a colour for your Hexie? When you resubscribed, I was caught on the hop and I didn't have any papers or anything. And as it happens, I don't have any papers left. So I need to do a different project. So we're going to work on a little rainbow Hexie quilt. So you can pick a colour of the rainbow, Psycho, and I will make you a Hexie up. That looks like pen. It's not. It's just thread. Orange. Boom. There we go. A nice bright orange Kona Hexie there then. I need the paper. Let's put that on there. Psycho Mantis. And I will, like I say, I'm going to figure out how to get people's names on them later because I've run out of, my Pigma pens have run out. So I can't write on fabric. Not nicely. But, are you guys doing Duxford this weekend? There's a quilt show at Duxford down in Cambridgeshire, I think it is. Not sure. I've been roped into helping Hannah's room this weekend, so that's why there'll be no stream on Friday, I'm afraid. Because I'm going to go and help her out. I might have a look and see if I can pick up some fabric pens there. But, Psycho works for Gamel. Well, it doesn't work for Gamel, has their own business. I've forgotten the name of your business. Green Hill Fabrics, Green Hill Quilting. And they are Gamel distributors in the UK, which are those big massive long arm machines, which I would love. But as you can tell from the size of this room, I'm not going to get a 14 foot frame in there. Oh, Jenny Wren, your son travels through Duxford every day to work. Oh, is this Timber and you, or is this a different son? Can you catch a lift off him? Come to the quilt show. We can go for coffee. So I'm excited to go because it's one I've been wanting to visit as a visitor, because I figured that Rob and the kids could go next door to the museum, the aircraft museum, but it's never worked out. But no, I'm going to be working there, so I'll get to at least visit the show in that capacity. Oh no, Psycho, it was full. Oh, that's a bummer. I think this is one of the last ones of the year now. Well, I say that. I think Roxana is down in Kent in November, but I won't be doing that one. Oh, what's that you found, Kerry? Is that another link? Quilt Museum. I could have sworn they'd rescued it. I've obviously mistaken. So is it far from you then, Jenny Wren? Are we going to be far from you? There we go, Psycho. Thank you so much for resubscribing what feels like a couple of weeks ago now, because I've been so far behind. Oh wow, we're going to see the football, so dates did not work. Well, there you go. I'll let you know how it went when we get back. Oh dear. Kerry, you're confused. It says closed, but says come and visit. Okay. Kerry, let me do some digging and I will find out for you for sure what's going on there then. It might be one of these places where you just have to make an appointment ahead of time and they'll be there to let you in. Because I think the British, the Quilters Guild are still based in the same building, just maybe they're not open to the public all of the time. Very strange. Right, I'm feeling better now. I'm catching up on my subs as well. That's brilliant. Catching up on the subs so I can cross off Psycho from my list of people to catch up. So I just need to keep an eye out for Unicorn. Jenny Wren, if Unicorn's around, I need to know what colour hexie she would like for the rainbow quilt. And Iron Band's Graham. We might see, well, I think she was trucking the last time I saw. She was driving a big lorry somewhere. Oh, so it's not too far then, Jenny Wren. Aha. So I've not been to this quilt show before, and it's not a competitive quilt show, but there's lots of exhibition quilts to see, and obviously lots of traders and things will be there as well. Need more coffee. Not enough coffee in my life. Right, pop those to one side. So yeah, whilst I was off, I managed to start about 7 new projects, which is crazy, absolutely crazy, but it's my nature. So I'll run through and show you them if you like, figure out which one I'm going to finish first. So the biggest one I've started, besides the baby quilt, which is still needing finishing, was a table runner, because I am demonstrating for the Quilters Guild next year at their AGM, which is not far from here. And I have to, I've got a thing about hexagami. Karen, yay, you're here. I need to catch up with you and get your address to post your coaster. Thar gets yarn for half price, so suddenly has 3 new projects. Yeah. That was my problem when I had my business. I paid myself in fabric, basically. I didn't make any money, but I just stole lots of stock. Nova started woodworking. Wow, Nova. Do you know that I have to say working with wood would be awesome. And I watched Timber and You in his stream thinking, oh God, I wish I had a shed and I wish I had some like power tools and some skill. Because I would love to make stuff, make stuff by hand. It'd be great. Anywho, the first project I did start, I've been working on these for months, but I finally started putting them into something, are these ones. Just using a bookshelf as a design wall again. We were talking about incorporating the hexagons into a applique. So this is one that I've been doing this, and I've got about 12 of these blocks that I've been working on, and I've just given up and said, right, let's turn it into something. So I'm turning these ones into a table runner. Or it could have been a quilt as you go applique, but we're going for table runner. I think the lights are a bit bright, so let's get it on the desktop and you can see more closely kind of what we're talking about. Oh, let's move the coffee and quilting. Not great, not great. So I did start quilting this one. So if you can see, I've used sort of the hexagamis here as a little detail. I haven't put anything to cover the centres yet because I'm still working on what I'm going to do. Excuse me. It's awesome. I love it. I've been really enjoying. I've been making these blocks. You're the first people to see them because they've not been a secret project, but I've been just trying to formulate it and figure out what I'm doing. And in the end I can't, so I just just decided to put them together and make something, so I would at least have a sample that says this is what you could do with your hexagamis. So that's the first one, kind of red flowers, and I went more kind of daffodils. There's still pins in because I haven't finished quilting yet. I've just sewn around the blocks in the ditch at the moment. So this one I think is more daffodils because we've got the orange centres, and again we need something just to finish these off. But yeah, I'm kind of excited, but wishing I hadn't put these leaves on the outer edge. I don't think I needed those, but anyway, you live and learn. And then we've got some lovely, lovely kind of asters, maybe some purple asters, I don't know. It's all made with scraps, so it was just me testing out block designs and ideas, and would the hexagami work in applique? And I think it does, and I do like the sort of texture that I've got. So yeah, black centre on these ones. Yeah, even just a black button would do, wouldn't it? But yeah, so we've got poppies, we've got kind of daffodils, and we've got a sort of aster type. How I've used the hexagon as the flower head. Well, that's what I've been doing, Jenny Wren. I've got about a dozen blocks. I can get the others out. I haven't made anything with them yet, but I've just been trying to incorporate the hexes into my other great love, which is applique. And these are hand, they're all turned by hand, so there's no raw edges. Googly eyes. I have googly eyes on my cameras. So that was project number 1 that we've started. We've got a table runner, and you can just see the quilting there on that one. I've just done basic outline quilting at the moment. I need to do some more interesting quilting, if you like. But for now, this is good enough. It just needs some trimming and binding. But I haven't found the right fabric yet for that. So hopefully Duxford, I might find something that I can bind this with, and that'll be one of my samples finished. So we've got the bag. I make the bags. I've got bags I can use. I've got coin purses, and I've got a long list of about 50 different project ideas that need these hexagamis. I just haven't done anything with them. So project number 1. Project number 2, where are we at? Oh, more hexagami. Oh. This one is crazy. This is the petal flowers gone mad, because I really like the petal flower paper. So guess what? I blew it right up. This is 2.5 inches, and I've got the centre again. I think I'm going to think about asters at the moment. If I go this way, you can kind of get a feel for it. This is a very big flower, and I'm going to put this on a cushion. I think I'm going to use this as a cushion cover. So sick. I love it. I just get so excited. I get so excited, and I'm not sure that's healthy, but so I did get some fabrics out for these. I haven't started the cushion yet, but I'm going to have to applique that down first. Very good. I try and keep all my projects in a little plastic bag so I don't lose anything. So this, I think the polka dots might kill the camera. We'll see. But I'm thinking of putting it on this. This is a really bright pink fuchsia. So I think it's going to be the front of the cushion is going to be these dots. Wow, look at that. Zing! Gonna kill the camera. Yeah, it's going to kill the camera. Ah! Anyway, that's the plan. Doesn't like it. That is the plan. It's going to be the fuchsia. And then I think I'm going to use this fabric as the backing, because I bought these years and years and years ago, and I just have no clue what to do with them. Rest in polka dots, I know, but I love polka dots. But you see, this doesn't quite look as good, I don't think, putting it on the strap, although it, I don't know, I do get torn because there is some, that looks quite good too. And I've got this really cool stripe that I thought I would use as a binding, because if I cut this very, very thin and just have that as a sort of thin border, we get some movement with the diagonal lines there. Definitely dots. I think dots. I'm a bit dotty about dots. So that's another project that needs finishing, a cushion. And we've done cushions before, haven't we? So we can do another one. I just need to be a bit more organised. And like I said, I need to applique this down first. So I've got a plan, I've just got to follow it through, which tends to be my problem. You vote dots as well. I do think the dots will be better. And the stripe can go on the back. We can use that on the back. And when am I doing one of the Elias Grace quilts? Oh no, I'm not. She was making a log cabin, wasn't she? Tree of Life. I love the Tree of Life, I have to say. But I don't plan to make an Elias Grace quilt just yet, but you know me. If I had to, it probably would be the Tree of Life. Log cabin doesn't do it for me. Although that said, I am going to work on a log cabin variation in a little while, because that's another itch that needs scratching. So that's all the fabrics for that. We're going to get that turned into a cushion. A hexy tree. I'll wait there, Bar, because I've got hexy trees everywhere. That was project 2. Oh dear. Oh, project 3 was just an experiment in colour and colour placement. Not sure you can see that so clearly. I was, again, just playing with the three-dimensional hexies to see how it looks. I think it's better if you hold it up, you get more of the effect. I'm just playing with colour placement again to try and get this to kind of raise up or drop down. So that was just a simple coaster. Hexy hubby, hexlings, a hexy father-in-law, we do. And my awesome t-shirt, look, Mandy Crafty sent me a t-shirt. What's this? Design stitches, design stitch outs, hexagon blocks, Christmas tree. Oh, I'm going to click a link and hope I don't break anything. Very good, I like it. I like it. Oh dear. Yes, I have got something very similar. That's what I did with the Christmas quilts. But yeah, I have. I've done hexy trees. In fact, there's some buried underneath there. There's a little mini tree skirt. And I did start on a hexy tree project. What did I do with that one? Oh man, where did I put that? Oh, it's fallen down here. A new advent calendar for the Hexy house. We do not need any more advent calendars. So here is one that I did start working on with the hexagami again, because I want to try and get the hexagami in. But I'm not convinced because I'm using scraps. The colour looks terrible today. The light's a bit too yellow. But this is going to be a Christmassy tree thing. I just need to make lots and lots and lots. Lots and lots more. And then again, I'm thinking maybe I could do this as an advent. We could hang different baubles on the tree and gradually decorate it over the course of the Christmas holiday. But I'm still not convinced by this, and I've got loads of different hexagamis that I've made up, but I'm not convinced by this design, so it's in timeout right now. Just thinking about with some sparkles it would be awesome. But I was thinking like the little miniature baubles you can get. If I just put buttons here, we could hook a bauble over a button and it might look totally different. Do a green base colour and small hexagami in white. Oh yeah, for a snow-covered tree. Stop giving me ideas. Stop. But so could you guys, that's the thing. Obviously none of these are patterns, these are all just, this is what you can do with hexagami. So I think, like I say, that one's in timeout. I am not loving it right now. But I will grow to love it. So I'm just kind of fold it all up so I don't lose any of the hexagamis. A Christmas tree wall hanging, yes it will be, Karen. Like I say, I'm not loving it right now, so it needs to sit there. Everything it needs is here. I just have to apply myself and finish something. Maybe I should finish this, I don't know. But I think that table runner is the closest to being finished now. That needs just a binding. I'm just going to find the right fabric. So what's that? We're on project number 3, aren't we? Oh god, and there's no room. Number 3. Number 4 was this little thing, because I did start working on a snowflake collection. So I've done about 9 or 10 snowflake designs now, and I had to do a rainbow one because I'm getting sick of looking at white fabric. So we started a little rainbow one, which has not got very far right now. So we're starting off, we're quite small. The printer had a hissy fit, and so we ran out of ink. But we are going to be going for a rainbow hexie. And I'm doing that in some oak shop fabrics that I've got stashed away. Karen, cover your ears. Try the Christmas lights necklace, wrap round to add lights. Oh, yeah. Oh, Amanda, that might be good, yeah. So anyway, I've started this one. These are tiny little 1/2 inch hexies, and there's a whole bunch of them. Oh, there's the other projects. Just move them. So I've got a whole bunch of rainbow fabrics here, ready to go. And I've started the next round, which is purple next. So we're going to put some purples around here, and then we're going to do a big ring of pink, and then we're going to go out reds, oranges, and yellows. But these are nice because I kind of get stuff cut and ready to go, and then I can just flip between projects. What did you miss, Karen? Snowflakes. Yes, I'm doing snowflakes. So I've got a whole collection now, about I think 9 or 10 different snowflake designs, and they vary in size. This one is just going to be a small wall hanging because we're going to do it in small 1/2 inch hexies. Look, and rainbow. Because of course I'd have to do a rainbow, don't I? You love the mini hexies. Yeah, these are 1/2 inch and I do like them. I think 3/4 is better, but I'm always convinced every project will take about an hour. About an hour, I'll get that done. I totally know better. It takes an hour to decide on the fabric. Karen loves you a snowflake. Oh well, there you go. Keep your eyes peeled. We have a snowflake collection brewing. So I did make a start. This is one of those quiet ones in front of the telly. I can just sit and make them up. So the papers were all in still, because this is one of those designs where you never surround a hexagon entirely. So you have to keep the papers in right until the very end, and then I can remove them all and applique it down. But that's kind of cool. It's like some weird chemical formula or something at the moment. Thar wants googly eyes. Thar, I have got googly eyes just for you. If you hang on after the break, I will get them because they're amazing. They are the most amazing. I haven't figured out how to do it, but anyway. Oh, Tiny Tan, good evening. Sorry you're late. It's okay, Tiny Tan. I don't take a register. You get here when you can get here. It already has googly eyes on the back. Oh dear. Oh, what's that? Oh, that's just my cutting list and instructions. Oh no, Jenny Wren! Snapped off the handle. Oh, it's just the handle piece itself, or because I always remove my handle. I know it's never permanently attached. It will work without. And how is Tiny Tan? How is life down under at the minute? There we go. Da, da, da. So what's that? Project number 4? That was project number 4 I started. Oh dear. I don't know what it is, like I say, I just kind of sit there and I'm convinced everything will take an hour, and it really does not. It really does not. That technically isn't even started yet, but this was me playing. Do you remember the summer fruits that we were doing? And I think we've been talking about like oranges and lemons. So I was looking at a way that I could maybe do like a slice, an orange slice. And that's how we can do it. If I use kites and then applique them onto a larger hexagon, I reckon I could make those look like lemon slices or orange slices. So that's my plan. If not, it could be some weird Union Jack. Who knows? So technically that started, but I didn't start. I just started to gather some fabric and tested it out with the papers before I even cut the fabric. Had a bit of a bad weekend, but you've started a new Hexie project, so all is good. Oh no, I'm sorry to hear that, Tiny Tan. Oh dear. That's sucky. That is sucky. What's your new Hexie project then? I've started about 7 new Hexie projects since I last saw you, because that is my way. I'm not very good at finishing things. So that's in the back of my mind now for the summer fruits, because we've only got the orange and the strawberry at the moment. And oh, Jenny Wren, oh no, he's going to buy the Big Shot Plus. Oh, that's a good machine. I think if I could, I would do that. Oh wow, Amanda, yeah, lime for margarita and then a cocktail glass with Hexies. I like your style. We could totally do a cocktail glass out of Hexies. Totes. So that's started but not. That's just, you see, I've put the thread, some fabrics. I'm kind of thinking, but I'm doing no more than thinking. If I do get bored, I've got a bag I can grab. I've forgotten what number we're on, but anyway, guess what? This was another one. This is one. Do you know I bought the Lucy Boston die for the Sizzix and I didn't get around to using it yet. So I just thought I need to have a play. And somebody online in Facebook, English Paper Piecing Group, posted this project of her. It was a travel project she was doing that was all neutrals with a red centre using the Lucy Boston. The hexacombs, honeycombs, they are hexagonal in the sense that they have 6 sides, but they do not have the same angles. So you end up with a kind of octagonal type shape, but they do interlink. So kind of excitedly, because I've got a lot of neutral fabrics just stashed away, very quickly I started to have a play. I think that and the tile museum, obviously having visited the tile museum, I started to see tiles everywhere this last week, and so this is what I'm doing. And I think I'm just going to do maybe 16 of these blocks and just do a mini quilt, just so I can say I tried that. And I got to use some of these fabrics, because otherwise they just sit in the scrap bins. Oh, Karen, you've got everything you need. You're resisting starting. Resistance is futile. Just start. Finish while you start. Oh, you've been working on. Are you still working on R2D2? That is so brilliant. Oh dear. Working, knitting and crocheting. I am resisting the crocheting. I'll be honest. Now it's getting a bit windier and a bit chillier. I'm thinking, oh, could just make another hat. Oh no. Tiny Tan. Oh God. Are you all right? Are you all right physically? See, I don't like to pry when people have a bad time. I think, you know, I don't want to ask, but I'm really sorry to hear that. That's not funny at all. No worries, Karen. Well, you can just watch me start and not finish any. And yes, I know what you mean, Anna Lou. So many tile ideas. So these have not been stitched yet, hence the painter's tape just holding them together. So this is me just playing with layouts. And what I love about this one is these are random fabrics. I am not even thinking about placement. I've just grabbed a whole bunch, ran them through the Big Shot, and oh, come here. And I'm just going to stick them down and we're going to see where it goes. We're just going to see where it goes. Look. But this is another one of those, it just took an evening. So I could stop here. This is a nice little coaster or a mat. I think you've gathered by now, I like small projects. I'm not one for big projects because I just don't have the stamina to see them through. But I'm liking this one a lot. So it's all good to go. And what I'm doing, just so I don't lose things, is painter's tape. just to hold them together, so when I come back to it I know what I was planning to do. It's as far as my planning goes. So you've started on a Christmas wreath and a tree. Oh, lovely. So stitch it out, stitch it out. That's what I do. Stitching is my therapy. And you can see I have just surrounded, for the time being, I've just surrounded the squares. I haven't stitched all of the seams. Oh God, Tiny Tan. Turn right in front of you. Oh God. Just forgot they were dragging a trailer. So again, these are all cut. That's what I love about the Big Shot, I'll be honest. As obviously I just put a whole bunch of fabric through that, cut the big ones, I've cut a load of papers, and it's another one that's ready to pick up when I feel like something different to do. How was my week? My week was great, thank you, Tiny Tan. I had the boys off for a week and a bit, and then the hubby was off for a couple of days as well. And we went to Ironbridge near Telford, which is kind of the home of the Industrial Revolution. We took the boys there because they love science and history and things. And I managed to go and visit the Tile Museum. And I think that's probably where you'll find, because tiles to me are patchwork. And so we went to the Tile Museum. I had a great time, picked up some awesome reference books, and now my brain is just tick, 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 tick. And I'm starting lots of new things just to test them out. So I don't even know where we're at. Project 6 since last time. Yeah. And this last one is absolute insanity. But as you saw with the cutting machine earlier, I now have the ability to cut papers in any size I like. And so I really fancied having a go at baby pieces. So I have cut 1/4 inch hexes on the machine, and I've really enjoyed that. But I wanted to have a go at maybe doing like mini quilts. So this is a teeny tiny, what we call a New York Beauty. I don't know if you can see this. And this is one of those blocks that's normally, you would normally foundation piece this. And I have foundation pieced them before in the past, on a much larger scale. So this is a 4-inch finished block. I don't know if you can see that. I think it's awesome, but it's come out pretty well. And I've cut the papers again on the machine, so all these papers were cut out on the cutter, and it means that my points are better because they're pretty much spot on. I've just got to figure out, I'm not enjoying stitching curves with paper piecing. But I think again this might be just 4. I'll make 4 and do a little 8-inch mini quilt thing. Oh, you just heard from Sam, could she have a purple hexagon please? Absolutely she can, thank you Jenny Red. I will make her a purple one in just a second. Oh dear. Oh, I'm the naysayer, thank you so much for the follow, and thank you for the host as well, much appreciated. So yeah, I've had a go at a teeny tiny New York Beauty block, and I really like it. I really like it. So I just have to do, so this was the drawing that I've done, and these are the pieces that the machine will cut out for me. If I lay that on there, you can see that's how that fits in there. So again, I can cut an entire quilt from one sheet of card on this awesome silhouette cameo cutter. So that's my plan. But like I say, I'll probably just do the 4 and just make a mini, just so I know that I can, and then move on to the next project. So I think that's project number 7 that we started last week. What's gutting about this is I spent ages drafting it and getting it all perfect. I forgot to save it. I don't know what's happened. As I'm getting older, I've become more and more useless, and completely forgot to save. So all of this work has actually gone. I'm going to have to recreate it. But I do have the papers at least. At least I got as far as doing a test cut. So I do have the papers to make the sample. That might be the universe telling me to just do that and then ignore it. I don't know. Do it so you know you can, and then move on to the next thing. Oh dear. So there's the other 3 quarters that are waiting to be done. Let's not squish them. And I do try and keep everything organised so that when I kind of have a, what shall I do? There is a box of things for me to pick something and I can just pick it up and start working. Because it's good to have. Right, there we go. That was those. And I genuinely think that was all the things I started. Honest. I think that's all I started. Oh dear. That is until yesterday morning on Facebook. I'm basically going to go on a hiatus, no more social media. I've stopped posting. I don't post to social media anymore, but I haven't stopped looking at social media. And I think that's my next step, is to just stop looking. Because somebody posted a picture of a newspaper clipping. And it's from 1938. And good morning, BSW, how are you? B-dubs, isn't it? Good morning, how are you doing? So they posted in Celebrate Hand Quilting is one of the groups that I'm a member of on Facebook. And they posted in there a cutting from a newspaper that just had a block on it. And they said, does anybody recognise the block? And I didn't recognise the block. And it was a kind of log cabin variation. But the secondary design possibilities were really exciting. And I get really excited by stuff like that. And I know I need to get a life. But I've given up trying. I'm just going to embrace the weirdness and play with it. So that's what I had to do yesterday morning. When I should have been doing housework, I was playing. So I've managed to draft the block. If you can see this. This was the patchwork block from the newspaper clipping, or an image. She posted an image of it. So I redrafted the block in Electric Quilt because I've never seen this block before and it didn't exist in my software. So I drafted the block and I coloured it in, had a play, and then I had to mess around with some different layout ideas because the secondary designs that you can get from that one block were really exciting. And I don't know what it is. I love this one and I love this one. These two are really, really speaking to me. I think that one's just the same, but they're really exciting. So I drafted it so that I could use jelly strip rolls, because the pre-cut 2.5-inch rolls are genius. And anything that saves me time, I love, you know. So I really quickly drafted this up for the guys. I posted it in the Facebook group and said, there you go, have a play. But I'm gonna have a play too, because I haven't even made it yet. I've just made it in my head. So I thought I'll test it and see if it actually works as a block. And then this quilt here is just 16 of those blocks, and then a thin border and a thicker border. But in my head that takes about an hour. I can whip this quilt up in no time. And the reality is something completely different, isn't it? But I thought I'm going to try and make a test block today. I've got bits of a jelly roll left over from Hannah's room. These were like a whoops roll. They weren't quite cut properly, so I've got these, and so I'm going to try and make a test one. And these are all kind of aqua turquoisey colours, and we'll see how it works. But the biggest thing with this block is the colour placement. Again, it's the colour placement. So you need to make sure you've got a very dark and a very light here to give you that strong diagonal, because that is what gives you that effect. So that's what I'm going to play with today. You love those colours. I have to say I do love these colours, and I've been working on designing some new quilts for Hannah's room. Kind of almost like signature quilts, ones that we can reproduce every time she brings out a new colourway. I can make her a new sample, and I think this just might be one of them. Been working on your carpenter star dress and have over 12 hours in it already. I know, they always take way longer than we think. So I'm convinced each step of quilt making is an hour. But I need to be honest, it really isn't. Because I'm only lying to myself. But you have all the stars sewn and it's ready to be assembled. Oh gosh, do you have to cut it up again now into the different pieces for your dress? That would scare me. That would scare me a lot. So we're going to do this. So I think I need a very dark, obviously, to give me the diagonal. Now, I'm not sure how many blocks I'm going to get from a jelly roll. And like I said, this is a mini roll. This is only 20 strips here. But I thought I'm going to go through and try and find my darks. And see if I can... I'd like to be able to make sort of 3 or 4 blocks to see how it puts together. But looking at this, I don't have enough. Might get away with that as a dark. I might not. Not convinced. So basically, I definitely need very dark darks. And then I need... That's going to be a problem. I'm looking at it on screen. That's going to be a problem. But anyway. And then I definitely need some lights. And the nice thing is I know that I can always go and ask Roxana if she's got any lights. So that's very light, but still a bit blue. That will do. So I want contrast. So depending on what I pair that one with, I might get away with it. It scared you a lot, but you did it. Well done. Well done. Because that is scary, for sure. Cutting up, mind you, my husband doesn't get the whole buying perfectly good fabric and cutting it up and stitching it back together anyway. It's yeah, going that extra step. So that is my dark and my light. So I'm definitely going to get like a diagonal going through the block. What else do I need? I wish I'd done it in slightly different colours now because I can't really distinguish between the two. So I've got dark and light, and I've got I've got 3 others. And I would say they're kind of medium dark and medium. So let's go with a medium dark. And the best way to test this is going to be to take a photograph with the, if you put your black and white filter on. And that will help you see where you've got any kind of clashes. Because it's the value of the fabric that's doing the work, but the colour's getting all the credit. So they look very similar, but they're not in terms of value. Whereas I think those two, although they look different, probably won't. Oh. So let's go with that and that. Am I going to get away with that? So I think that's more of a medium dark rather than a dark. Sorry, you're inside my head now, guys. You get to... Let's just try and make 1 block, Alison. I would like to make 4, but let's try and make 1. Oh, I like that one. So let's say... What do we think? They are looking interesting. So I'm just going to move the others out of the way for now. I think these are the ones I'm going to go with. But last step, like I say, take a photo now and just see that I have actually got some contrast. Because these might read too similar. And these look very similar now. Looking at them, even just on screen, they look different, you know. The high-tech way. So we get your photo. And I need to put a filter on. So basically what I'm looking for is the mono filter. So I can see these in black and white. Okay, these two are reading the same. So these are my medium darks, but I've very definitely got a contrast with this one. And that's like a medium light and a light. We're going to run with those. We're going to run with those. Oh, my brain hurts. My brain hurts. Oh, what do I need? So I need to probably work out which are which and make a note here and then number these, and then I can cut. Like I say, I didn't really plan this, but as I was asleep last night, this block kept playing in my head and I thought, right, I need to make it now. I need to make it. So I think my biggest problem is going to be with the light. I might need more than 1 strip of light. Oh, thank you, Mandy Crafty. This is Hannah's Room's Aquamarine pre-cut. So it starts with a very sort of dark turquoises and teals and goes all the way through to really nice light aquas. And yeah, I like these ones. No worries, B-dubs. Thank you for showing up at all. I really appreciate it. And Yeah, lurk away, lurk away. Hopefully I'll get something stitched and there'll be a block at the end of this. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm probably going to take a quick break, grab a cup of tea because the coffee's cold and I'm starting to dry out. And I'm going to sit down, we're going to work out what I need to cut, and hopefully we can piece a block today, and we'll see if it's worth pursuing any further or if it's another one that can just go in there. I shan't develop that any further. So yeah, put the kettle on, guys. I'll be about 5-10 minutes. Just have a cup of tea and I'll see you soon.
turning. I wanna feel that reckless feeling that I felt out on the road. I wanna step out on the stage. I wanna turn that music up. And I wanna hear those people singing right back at us on the road. Oh, on the road. Oh, I'm just not myself when I'm at home. My baby
All right, guys, I'm back. Oh, Alika, welcome back too. Better late than never, indeed. Hi. Right, I'm going to have a go at this block. I just want to let Jenny Wren know there is Unicorn's Hexie. Like I say, my fabric pens have run out though, so I need to get some new fabric pens. Hopefully this weekend I'll pick them up at the quilt show and I'll be able to put your names on the front. But Unicorn is done now as well. So in my subs pile. Oh, my camera's got a bit stuck then. Hopefully just for me and not for you. Oh, up way too late last night getting a new warp on the loom. Oh, fantastic, a new project, hooray! I stayed up way too late the last 2 nights. Oh my gosh. I have a new game, Railway Empire. I do love the older sort of sim style games. I spent 4 hours working on a particular chapter in this game, only to fail at midnight. So I just lost 4 hours and I have nothing to show for it. So if I could have rage quit, I would have rage quit, but I couldn't. It rage quit on me. Oh dear. But at least you have something to show for your late night. So yeah, I'll keep an eye on. Are you going to be streaming? I'm guessing you'll be streaming what you're making. So we'll keep an eye out for you. Right, I'm going to swap back to desktop because we were just going through and picking out fabrics to test this block, and they look lovely. As I came back in the room, I'm like, oh, they look really nice. But I'm still a little bit concerned. I'm not sure, although this is jelly roll friendly in the sense that it uses a 2.5 inch is kind of the main measurement. I'm just looking through how many patches the design says I'm going to need to cut, and I don't think I've got enough of the lights. Oh dear. So I don't think I've got enough light. So look here, thanks to you and Tony, you remembered you had an old handy cam to use as a 3rd webcam. Yes, nice one. So you're all set up now then. I haven't really figured out how to use the handy cam yet. I think I would like it to be my overhead camera, but I can't figure out how to rig it up and it not be in the shot. You expect to be streaming on Friday. Fantastic. Unfortunately, I'm going to be away at a quilt show. I leave tomorrow, but I will try, depending on what time you stream, I might be able to watch you in the evening when I get back from work. But yeah, fingers crossed. So I'm just going to go through and do some really basic maths now and make sure I've actually got enough fabric before I start cutting and find that I don't. So the biggest problem is going to be the lights with this sort of diagonal stripe that we need. So I've got to work out how much I need, and so the biggest piece I need is going to be 4.5 inches by 2.5. So basically I'm going to work out I need 6 4.5. So that is going to be, if I do light, just kind of write these notes as I go. 6 by 4.5. That is going to be 27 inches. So I need 27 inches of fabric to do the large light pieces, these ones. Those 6. And then it says here 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 lights. So I think already I know I don't have enough fabric because that is going to be 20. Is that right? 2 8s are 16. 8 halves are 4, 20 inches. So I need 47 inches of a light fabric, and unfortunately jelly roll strips vary, but they tend to be between 40 and 44 inches. So there's not enough there to do one block. Bummer. But that's okay because this is the design opportunity now, so I'm gonna have to just figure that out. And probably the quickest and easiest way I can do that is if you look at the block, I've got the white diagonal running through here, and I have 2 lights here and here. Yeah, Frank Lloyd Wright, yes they do, don't they? I think this was a block that was in a newspaper cutting from 1938, Alley Cat, and somebody posted it in the Facebook group, a picture of this block. In those days you could send off 25 cents and they'd send you the pattern, but nobody recognised it and there was no name given for the block, so we're not sure that it's kind of a globally recognised block. Somebody thinks it was a variation on an Indian prairie braid, so it could be. So I just drafted it again in electric quilt and thought I'd have a go at making one because I really like it. It looks good, and the secondary design possibilities with it. I started to mess around with those. Look really visually quite stunning. So I'm going to have a go at making one and seeing how it works. So now I just need to work out my fabric. So I don't have enough, but I will have enough to do this central section in this strip. And perhaps what I'm going to do is on these bits here, I will substitute those for a different one. So I've still got the symmetry in the block, and I'll still have that central white stripe, if you like, or light stripe running through. They just won't be in the same fabrics. So we're going to do, instead from this one, I'm just going to cut 4 2.5 inch strips. So that means I only need 37 inches then, which is doable. And then I need to find another light that I can use for these 2 in each corner. So we'll just pick another one. As long as it's light, in terms of value, it will work, I hope. So this is light number 2 then. We'll stick that one in. What's the worst? So those are sorted. What else do I need? So I'm working off these ones first because these are the largest piece. So I need 4 of those and 2 of those. That's going to be fine, it's plenty. 2 of those and 5 of those, again, fine. It was just that light one that was going to be the problem. So I suppose I better start cutting, or I think I'm going to actually organise first. So if I just write on my pattern light 1, and then these are going to be light 2. And this doesn't need to be done, this is just because I've never made it before. I want to just make sure that I have a cutting list that makes sense. So light 2, I tend to use just labels, sticky labels, and I will just cut a small piece off it and then stick it on the fabric so I know which fabric it's referring to. So I've got light 1, light 2. I've got a medium here, this greyish colour here. Medium, medium, medium. And we're going to use this one as medium. So let's stick some stickers on so I don't lose track of what I'm doing. And this is half the problem with patchwork, is just being organised. But I'm getting better as I get older. Getting more and more organised. So that is my medium fabric. And if I just use a little sticker, then I can keep track of them. Light 1 is this one. Which makes this one light 2. Where's the edges? There we go. And this is kind of, when you're designing quilt patterns, these are the sort of steps that I go through to sort of make sure that they're going to work. Because you've always got to make a test. And like I say, I might develop this further and design some quilts around it. I might just make this one and be happy. So that is medium. So that's that one and that one covered. Dark, we know what the dark is. I don't think I need a sticker for that. That's very definitely dark. Have I got enough of that one though? It's not a full strip. I do have some yardage of this as well. Okay, we've got 26 inch. We're not going to have enough of that one. I'm going to have to cut a strip or use a different block. So I have some other yardage here, so I can cut a strip of that one off for my dark, because I really want to use that one. So I'm going to have to cut a strip. No worries, Alley Cat. I'm kind of lurking here myself, to be honest with you. I'm just talking out loud, so apologies if I'm not paying attention. It's because I'm paying attention to working out maths. Enjoy your lurk, Alley Cat. So that's going to be 12.5 inches. Oh, actually, I might have enough. 12. So that's 9 inches. And 12.5. I do actually have enough. Forgive me, that's me being insane. I do have enough of that strip. I don't need to cut another one. Egads. Is that right? Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 2. Oh, brain fade. And then we've got another set of mediums here. So it looks like when I've coloured this, I've actually used two different mediums on the block. I could maybe get away with just using one medium, but I think I'm gonna like the variety. So now I just need to decide which ones are which. So let's have a look on here. So no big ones, they're all just little ones. So I need 6 of one and 4 of another. So I'll just pick a randoms. So let's just do times 6 times 4. So I know what I mean. So we're going to cut 6 of that one. Just because. 4 of that one. And their placement, let's have a look, where are they going? So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 there. So let's call that M2. And the thing with patchwork is as long as you keep the symmetry, it tends to work. So M2, which makes this one medium 3. And they're going to go there, there, there. So the cutting on this looks like it is very straightforward. What's going to be tricky with this is when it comes to piecing, making sure all the bits go in the right place. But let's worry about that in a minute. Let's do some cutting first. Okay. Put that up there, that up there. We need a cutting mat. Just happen to have this one lying around. My little portable one, which is filthy. Look at the state. Well used. And we're going to need, that might need a press first actually, let's be honest. I'll get the iron. We'll give that a press. Because that's the other thing with patchwork is preparation is everything. Prep it right, it will behave a lot better. We're going to get a cutter. Might as well get the cutter ready. I've got no big bits to cut, so this little 6.5 inch square will be fine. Let's get all the wrinkles out. Let's get the wrinkles out. It's going to cut much nicer that way. And the others are all good. They've not been screwed up like this one has. Let's pop that up there out of the way. Okay, so dark. We need 5 2.5 inch squares. I'm just going to square this up here first and get rid of that bit. So I'm going to use my ruler. There is the 1/2 inch, 1, 2. So if you line up the 4, I've got a line running across the top there. That's running down there. That gives me a 2.5 inch square. Now we need 4 more. Two. Four. 5, so that's those 5, and then we need 2 4.5. So again, just look for the 4.5 inch mark. 1, 2, 3, 4.5. Let's line that up. Again, line up along that edge. There's 1. And there's 2. And that bit can go in the scrapping. We'll turn you into hexies another time. So I'm just gonna, that one looked a bit squiffy. Just double check. Thought so. And it's only a slither, but that little slither is enough to throw you off. So that's the darks all cut. And we should put them to one side. Let's do these light ones. So light number 1, we are doing 4 of those. And this is folded in half now, so I can cut twice as quickly. Get rid of that. 2, 4. And let's find the sticker, put that back on there, so we know that pile is the light 1 pile. And light 2, this is the one we need to cut some bigger ones. So let's just trim the selvages off. You never want the selvages in, these are slightly more densely woven and they just don't behave nicely, so we cut those off. We don't want those in the project. So first things first, I need 6 4.5 inch this time. So we have 2, 4. I find it so strange sitting down to cut. And 6, so that's the 6 large ones, and then I'm going to want 4 of the little ones. 2, 4. So yeah, we definitely didn't have enough left to be able to do it the other way. So yeah, light 2, and then medium. We have 4 4.5. Two. 4 4.5s. And do 2. Is it just 2? Yeah, just 2 of the mediums. And I want 6 2.5 inch ones off here because we wrote that on the sticker this time. Again, cut the selvages off. And testing a block always takes longer because it's the first time you've done something. So, and even if I was making a whole quilt with 20 of these blocks, I still go through the scent of making one from start to finish just to make sure the pattern works, because you never know when you buy a pattern they might not work. So I always just make one block, and then I could make 19 in a kind of production line style. But to do one first, step by step, make absolutely sure that my maths all works out. And we're cutting 4 of these. Oh, there we go. Job done. So that's all the pieces cut. It wasn't as onerous as I thought it was going to be, which is good. And then we just need to lay them out and piece them. So again, what I'll do is I'll lay them out using the cutting board because it's here. It's going to be upside down for you guys, but it will be the right way up for me. So let's see, M3, that'll be this fella. We'll start with M3. That's quite a big block, this one, so it's actually going to overhang the mat. So I'll tell you what, we won't do it on the cutting mat, we'll do it straight onto the board. Because this is a 14.5 inches this block will finish. Which means it'll be considerably larger until we start stitching and taking in those seam allowances. So you can flip your camera in your settings. I can, but I can't unfortunately with this particular one. I use a piece of software to handle the two different cameras because they're both the same model number B-dubs, and I cannot, once I've used this piece of kit, it won't allow me to use the Logitech camera settings, so I can't flip the and it's really it's so frustrating. And but yeah, I think because I use the cam control, it just won't let me, and I haven't figured out a way yet. I need to figure out how to mount the cameras overhead without making a mess. So we've got that, we've got light one. Let's pop these two in. So again, I'm just using my little road map over here, which you can't see, but it's just to the side of me. This is my little road map. That's what I'm using just to make sure I lay these out. And it's going to be the exact opposite on that side. Medium thick, then we need a medium. And again, doing it this way means I can see how it's going to look before I even bother to stitch it together, because it might be I don't like it. It happens. It happens a lot. You also need to figure out overhead mounting. I did see a really cool tutorial actually on YouTube B-dubs. It was like a kid who was like 12, but I watched him. He was very good, and he got a microphone stand, like a boom microphone stand, so you could sit it on a desktop and it would obviously go overhead. I just don't have the space to put one of those, so I think I'm gonna have to mount mine into the ceiling, but that feels very permanent. Very permanent and very scary. So then I'm going to do that and light 2, so the first of these ones. Okay, and that means we can start working our way back on this row. So now obviously these won't fit because I need to lose the seam allowance in that, but it's an indication of where it's going to go. Light 2, medium 2, and medium. We're getting there, like a little brick road, medium 2. So now we're going this away. Where am I going? I'm going here now. Put that one in there. And then light 2. Let's be careful with this one, it's got a gold speckle on it. What mischief! Hey Father! I'm having a go at recreating a quilt block today from a 1938 newspaper clipping. So all we've got is an image of it. We don't have a pattern, so I've drafted a pattern in electric quilt, and now I'm just trying to test it out. Oh, hallelujah! Deep breath. I've got much better with spiders since I had children, but I'm screaming inside for you if that helps. So I'm just laying it out and then we're going to stitch it. We're going to stitch it together and see if it looks as good as I hoped it would. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. So you guys can come in here. I'm going to fall off the bottom, I think. Not enough space. La 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 la. That goes there. Yeah, we're going to fall off the bottom here, but not to worry. Let's just keep on keeping on right now. And it all looks all higgledy-piggledy because we need to take in all these seam allowances. So it definitely looks like it's fiddly to piece, but hey, sometimes these things are. Make sure I know where I am. Medium down here. And medium down there. We're just going to drop off the bottom here, I think, guys. But that's alright, I'll piece this bottom row first so I don't lose it. So we don't lose it. Light 2 goes there. Light 2 goes. Is that the gold? That's the gold side. So normally with batiks, you don't have to worry about right sides or wrong sides. Am I going to make these? I think I'm going to mess with the orientation of the stripe just to give it a bit of movement. We'll see, I might not like it. It's the only fabric in here that is directional, but it's unavoidable because it's a jelly roll. That's going to go there. So I'm just pulling out a camera shot now. If I just raise that up a bit, you can just see it bouncing off the edge here. M2 should be there, there. And this is always good because you can kind of see if you've got any fabric left over. You kind of hope that you won't. Looks like I'm missing a medium. What did I do with that? There it is, look. Okay, that is the block laid out. It looks like a right mess at the minute, but once we start piecing it, it will look better, I promise. So I'm just going to pop these things up onto my board. Come out of the way. And I can just push this back ever so slightly. Not lose the keyboard. Hey, and not lose those pieces off the end, because that would be bad. Bad juju. Machine. Alright, I need to change my foot because I currently have I have a walking foot on there, so I need to take that off. We don't want a walking foot. We want a patchwork foot. The best money you can spend on your sewing machine if you're going to do patchwork and quilting is a 1/4 inch foot and a walking foot. It is worth every penny. Trust me. Why, I don't know, after like over 100 years in development, why they haven't figured out an easier way to get the feet on and off, I don't know. Teeny tiny screw. There we go. So that is your walking foot. Has a little arm here that walks over your fabrics. But we're not quilting right now. I will show you that in more detail when I'm quilting one of these days. Let's just put this fella on now. Annika loves the 1/4 inch foot and use it for so much more than patchwork. Absolutely, absolutely. I've had the first one I bought. I still have the first one I bought. You keep longing after the sewing machines on Sewing Quarter, and you'll get one day. You will. To be honest, my first one, Annalou, was second hand, and I always keep my eyes open in charity shops and things. I got a fantastic little brother machine once from the charity shop for about £20, and it was brilliant. And I just sent it away for a service, and it came back new. Mandy Crafty, thank you so much for the bits. You're a nutter, thank you. I will keep an eye on the bits because that means I do need to do another set of cutting for the papers. But I might not get round to that this stream. Perhaps we'll have another catch-up stream when I come back next week after the quilt show. But thank you very much for the bits. Much appreciated. But Annalou wants a fancy pants one. I understand, I do. And I can tell you that I bought a fancy pants one when I had a job and I had money. Jenny Wren, thank you so much for the bits. Okay, either you're very sleepy or you rearranged. I did rearrange Spava a little while ago, but I did. Yeah, I used to sit in front of the window, so I'd be facing that way all the time. Now I've turned it so I can sit this way, because Hexy Hobby bought himself a new TV, and I now have a 42-inch of something telly in my room that I can use as a monitor. So yeah, we've squiffed, but it's all right. It works better this way. You can see my cutting table and things now as well. I can pretty much do everything in the single camera shot. Oh dear. Hexy Sister is awesome. Do you know, it was lovely, and I don't speak to Amanda that often. It's one of those things, we don't get along in person so well, do we? I think after an hour we start to rub each other up the wrong way, and but this is lovely because I feel like I'm chatting to my sister the whole time. And I'm so pleased you found Twitch, because you will find your people here, Amanda, I promise. You have to hold down the reverse button, Alec. I do too, and yes, it's a pain in the butt. But I have discovered there's a stitch on my machine that will do the reverse for me, but I still have to push a button to kind of initiate that stitch. So if I'm starting and stopping a line of stitching, I can use that particular stitch and it will go forward 3, back 3, and then stitch the seam. And when you're ready to stop, you just hit the back button once and it will do the forward 3, back 3, which is quite handy. So, but yes, Anna Lou, I went out, I bought a silly all bells and whistles sewing machine, and I don't use half of it. I think I use 3 or 4 stitches. That's all I need. So these days I stick to a good basic machine with a good motor. That's kind of more important to me. Good motor, a needle up down, a needle threader, because I won't admit that I need glasses yet, but a needle threader is very helpful. Mandy Crafty. Older sisters are like that. Yeah, okay. What else? It must be hard though. I would certainly say, Anna Lou, if you're going to invest, you know, try out a machine first. If you buy a second-hand one and live with it, you'll get to learn the things you like and don't like without having to fork out a significant amount of money. I love this little Janome that I've got now, and I think this was about, it is about £300, this one, and it does have 30 stitches, but like I say, I use 3 or 4 at best. But it's a great little machine, and it's got lots of little features that really work for me, and but it took a long time for me to figure out what I wanted and what I needed. I'm looking for my tub and it's right here. Yeah, if you were closer, I'd let you come and have a play on mine and you can see what it's like. But I'm just putting in bobbin threads and things. There we go. Just using a neutral, a light green thread. That will do, it won't show up. A non-electric treadle. Yeah, that would be awesome, Alley Cat. There's a chap in my sewing group, Tim, and he quilts, and he machine quilts using a treadle machine, and it's fantastic to see it. There we go. Right, we're good to go, we're good to go. 1/4 inch foot on, check. So your mum has an inexpensive one, you don't get on with it, so you wonder where to start or go. Right, what is it that you don't get on with, Anna Lou? So I'm just placing these right sides together, and I'm just going to do these one at a time because this is the first block. I'm not going to try and be clever and chain stitch or anything right now because I've never made this block before. There we are. And I'm just doing a simple straight stitch, and I'm not starting back tacking or anything. I'm just stitching. There we go. So I am chain stitching in the sense that I'm not cutting thread, but I'm not going to try and piece the whole block in one go. I'll show you in a second. So now I've stitched 2, I can cut the first one off and place it back on the board in the position it needs to be in. I do trim all my long threads off straight away. Keep the patchwork tidy. And what I need to do as well with this, to make sure my seams are going to nest, I need to make sure I piece in a certain order. So we will do that first. So the first row, I'm going to press them all that way, and I'm going to make a note on my machine. So we're going to go that way, These are going to be pieced together that way and that way. The thread knots all the time, but I think it's because the bobbin isn't wound enough, but you can't wind it any tighter. So is it knotting on the top? Is it getting... That sounds like it could be a tension thing. In which case it might be worth just paying for a service to get the guy to reset all the timing, and it should come back to you thread properly and with the bobbin wound correctly. Knots on the fabric. That's probably going to be a tension issue. It depends on where the knots are appearing, top or bottom, as to which thing needs adjusting. But don't be afraid of your tension dial, do change it. She says, looking, mine's still changed for using invisible thread, so that's no good. So the other weird thing with this block is it's actually a 7-patch grid rather than most patchwork blocks tend to be even numbers, so you'll have a 4-patch, you'll have an 8-patch. This is a 7 by 7, so it's a little bit more awkward, and I'll explain in a second why it's going to be awkward. Put those through there. Go back to the diagram, make sure we know which way we're going. I'm just finger pressing these for the time being. And now that I've done those two, I can actually come and press those together. So I'm kind of dealing with each row in turn and getting it all where's my pedal? There's the pedal. So I'm always kind of coming back to the desktop to make sure that I am doing this right. Not that you guys haven't seen me cock up on stream before, because it happens, doesn't it? More times than I would like. Yay, kiddo is in the van. And relax. Kettle on, feet up for 5 minutes, Alley Cat. And then get on with the day. Oh dear, right, that's those done. So you'll notice those last two I didn't chain piece, I've stopped and I've broken thread each time. It's because we're at the end of the row. I don't want to start on the next row and get my pieces jumbled. So I'm just going to literally do this row at a time. Johnny Cash style. I stitched it one row at a time, and it didn't cost me a dime. That is row number 1. Go over here. So row number 1, you can see it's shrunk down quite a bit now. And then we're going to do this row. We're going to have a bit of a problem when we come to this one because of the odd number. I'm actually going to have to stitch these this way first and then join them into one big row. And again, this is part of the testing because it might have been better to try and, because I've got these larger pieces bridging a gap, it's unavoidable. So you've just got to break it down into smaller pieces and do chunks of the quilt at a time. So let's piece this row next. Right sides together, we're going to stitch down here and we're going to bring it back here so that we can see what we're doing. So that's that one done, so now it's these two. Let's put that over there. Like I say, I'll leave that one on the machine, but I will cut away. Scissors. There they are, still behind the machine. So I always cut all these longer tail threads off now, whilst I've got the time, otherwise it just becomes really messy on the back. So looking back at the diagram, I want to go like this, but these seams are going this way, so I'm going to set these ones going that away. big truck outside. So I think the nesting of these seams might get interesting, because it's not as simple as just going one way or the other, because we've got this section here to deal with as a whole unit. So actually I'm going to take that one off the machine because I need to attach this one to it. Let's make sure we've got M2 and M, and we're going to go that way this time. So we have this, I need to put that one on there and then join those two. And I don't tend to pin because this is a short seam. I'm not pinning these. If I was doing lots in one go, I might pin them all so they're all ready to go, sort of chain style. But not today, my friends. I'm just finger pressing using my fingernail to do this for the time being. Easier than just bringing the iron over all the time. And now I can flip this whole portion over and onto there. Huzzah! Constantly readjusting because I haven't pinned. Okay, and that is that piece, and hopefully it's the same size as that piece. So we're pressing our seams that way this time. So hopefully we can see we've got those two like that. So now I'm going to piece these two together to create that unit, and it's just less to lose then. Bigger bits are harder to lose. So now I'm just going to bring it top down. And this is a longer seam, so I'd be more tempted to actually pop a pin in now, at least at the starts and stops. And this is where the water-soluble glue pen as well is brilliant, because I can just glue these seams rather than putting pins. And what I'm doing, I don't know if we can see this, because I've nested my seams, so I can get this closer, because seams are going one way and the other way, they are sitting nice and flat, and there's no ridges in there. Plus it will fit in camera more easily. It will indeed. Pins, 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 pins. But it's still quite gapey there, so I think we'll put another one in the centre. We've got no seam matching to worry about here, so we're just going to ease it and make sure it is sitting flat. There's a join there, that's flat. And this is always the thing, if I want it to look nice, I have to take the time. I tend to rush way too much and then kind of get upset that it doesn't look nice or that my points don't match. And it's my own fault, because I don't bother pinning. So let's try and rectify it for a change. There we go. So I'm going to stitch all along there. Just grab onto that bobbin. Come on, Bob. Get the pin out. Never stitch over your pins. Just don't do it. It's not good. You've all seen what happens, or there's a clip somewhere of what happens when the needle breaks. I broke a needle, and the shards, the bits of the needle, flew up into my kind of face. So if you can avoid breaking needles, you should, and one of those ways is to not stitch over your pins. And this isn't a race, just take your time. That felt a little bit off there, but it's a test block. We're gonna let it go. Alrighty. So again, let's just trim off those long tail threads now before they become a problem. And we are done with that piece. So we're going to open that way. I think I'm not going to try and finger press this now because it's quite long. I will get the iron back. And the first thing I'm going to do is just setting the seam. So I'm just pressing it flat first and encouraging the cotton fibres to sort of knit together and sink into the fabric. And then I can flip it over. I normally use steam, but I have not got my steam iron set up today. And more importantly, this iron has never had water in it, and I will not put water in this because this is my applique. Beautiful junctions there. And you can see when I'm pressing, I'm not even holding it, I'm just letting it do its job. Because you don't want to smoosh it, I don't want to be pushing down and pressing away because I will just spread it and it will get all wavy. We don't want wavy. Just pop that there a second. So there we can see, look, looking pretty good there, and some really nice point matching there. Because frustratingly, I took the time to pin it. And you can see how much it's shrunk down now. Now we've taken in all the seams as well. It's good. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm looking at this section here. We're going to have to piece this section as one because we've got these longer bits. So I'm going to piece that to that and kind of work. That's a 4 patch there, and then we'll add on that bit, and those two and those two. So it's just trying to figure out the best way to do that. Let's just start there. Seems as good a place as any. Remove that iron over there because you know I'm going to burn myself. My foot's gone for a walk. There we go. That's one done. Let's take that one now. I can use my fingernail as well just to adjust the seam. Make sure it's lining up. And like I say, I'm just going to continue to cut each piece off and lay it back in accordance with the diagram. Otherwise we might get in a bit of a mucking fuddle, and we do not want to do that. Oh, Tiny Tan, no problem, it's late for you. I appreciate you staying up at all to watch. Keep an eye on the Discord. I'll pop a picture. I've not been in Discord for like a week, so I will pop in and post a picture of the block because we will get the block finished today. But thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you get everything sorted out with the car and the insurances and everything else. And I will see you. I'm back here on Monday next week. And Niku, thank you so much for hosting the channel with 2 viewers. Yay! Thank you. Every little helps. So that was that one. So now I can go to this one. Oh dear, you set it up for raiding, but it's hosting instead. Well, we can just pretend that you raided. Welcome, raiders. I'm Hexadoodle. And normally I make things with hexies most of the time, but today I'm not. Just to throw everybody off. Oh dear. So I'm just pressing my seams differently here. I don't know why, but I don't like to press towards lighter fabric because you can sometimes get a shadowing. Oh, post a pic of your wreaths in Discord. Yes, please do, Tiny Tan, please do. So we all like to see what everybody's working on. And I will get into Discord at some point and catch up with what you've all been up to. There we go. So that's that bit done. Check. Pretending a raid. Let me defend, Niku. Oh, let me spell. You know me, I don't do spellings. We're defending against Niku. I'm throwing hex bombs at you. Oh dear. I'm Vansgram. Good morning. Hello, hello. Oh dear. How are you doing, Iron Vansgram? I am making a block today that I drafted in EQ, and I'm just this is the first time I've had to make it, so I'm kind of working my way through, and you can never be too sure, Niku. So now with this section I'm going to have to do this in a chunk here, so we're going to do the full patch first and then add on the bottom bit. Oh dear. You're doing okay. I saw the picture of you on Instagram with that giant truck. That looked massive. You've been are you moving or helping somebody move? Oh, so many cables under my desk. I'm getting everything caught in my machine foot, which is not good. So let's just come back here, and that one wants to go down that away. How am I today? I am fine, thank you, Niku. I had a lovely breakaway with the boys off for school, and hubby had a couple of days off as well, so we managed to get away and visit an area that's pretty important actually. It's kind of the home of the Industrial Revolution. We went to Ironbridge for a couple of days, and it was just nice to get away. Nice to get away, spend some time with the kids. And, I'm back, figuring out what I'm doing. Your hands are still cramped from the death grip you had on the steering wheel. Oh my. There's nothing more scary, is there, than having like your entire life in a van. I know when we moved and we hired a big 7.5 ton lorry, and this is 20 years ago, but I remember putting everything in that van and just thinking, my whole life is in here. Very scary. But did everything go well? Did everything go well, Iron Vansgram? Right, that's that one, that one, that one. Gosh, can you see the cogs whirring as I'm trying to figure this out? So the first block is always the worst. Of course, this might be the only block, but we'll see. Oh dear. Everything's unloaded, she just needs to unpack now. Yeah, that takes time. Oh no, and Niku's caught a cold, your eyes are all blur. So again, I'm just nesting that seam there. Yarnaholic, hey, welcome. Welcome. Fabrics are gorgeous. Well, thank you, thank you. These fabrics are curated by my best friend who runs a fabric shop, and I get to work there sometimes, which means I get to steal stuff. Sorry, appropriate stuff to make samples for her, honest. But yeah, these are all gorgeous hand-dyed batik fabrics, and I love stitching with them. And welcome, Yarnaholic. I'm testing out a block today that I've never made before, and I'm working off a picture from a newspaper published in 1938. So I've got no measurements, no nothing, just an image of this block. But somebody posted it in one of our Facebook groups for hand quilting, and it really gripped me because the possibility with the secondary design element from having multiple blocks pieced and rotated, it was just amazing. So I thought I've got to have a go, so I'm having a play today, and I'm just testing the block out. It's quite straightforward. I've sized it so that I can use a jelly roll strip because that makes life much easier for me. And I don't know, and I'm kind of assuming guys know what a jelly roll is. I'm sure you know how to eat a jelly roll. But a jelly roll is a type of fabric cut as well. So if nobody's not sure, I can show you what a jelly roll looks like. And it basically looks like a jelly roll. Or we would call it a Swiss roll in the UK. we have no such thing as a jelly roll because we eat jam, so it just doesn't translate. There we are. So that was that little 4 patch there. Again, we're just finger pressing for the time being. Lovely, lovely match there. Let's make sure that's just, so basically I want this diagonal running through here. They're pointing in. That's all good. So now I'm going to flip this bit onto here to create that section, and then we can join all those sections together to make our row. Like I say, this block is different because it's a 7 by 7 grid. I'm used to working with kind of more traditional 5 by 5 or 4 by 4, but this is a 7. I'm guessing that's that. Yep. So now we can start putting these together. Come on, you. So I've got no choice really but to oh no, Alley Cat. Nothing like picking up a sock you haven't worked on in 6 months and trying to figure out where you are in the pattern repeat. Oh god. No, I think I would probably just end up frogging it if it was me. Okay, so I have pressed that towards the light this time, only because these two are pressed to the dark. So if I want to nest them, I need to have the seams going in opposing directions. But it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. So I'm going to put those into a pair. And then we can see that bottom seam now is going to nest. I think I'm going to pin this one because it looks like I'm a little bit short. My 1/4 inch foot is ever so slightly off, and I always forget to adjust my needle position, which is what's happened. And now they're not quite lining up. I'm going to allow that. I'm not sure why that's aggressive. I'm pretty sure Alley Cat was not being aggressive. Oh dear. So I don't know if you can see that, because the 1/4 inch is slightly off, I've got a piece that's too big on the bottom. But by putting it on the bottom, the feed dogs are going to hopefully take through that extra fabric. So what I can do is just kind of ease it with a pin and then get the feed dog to do its work. Yeah, it didn't sound aggressive to me either, Niku. I think it's, yeah, I don't know. Don't sew over the pins, remember? So if you ever end up with 2 pieces that don't match, if you put the larger piece on the bottom, the feed dogs take in the excess fabric. Because there's nothing moving the fabric on the top. So hopefully we'll fix that. Let's get these 2 pieces. So that's that, isn't it? Yep. Yep, indeedy. So which way are those seams going? So let's go to that side this time. Yeah, maybe it is. Yeah, we don't use row for fight much. That's all I can think of, is that it would be, yeah. But we don't really use row. I suppose, not really. Not terribly common. Oh, you think you might have made a mistake, which explains both why you can't read your knitting and why you set it aside. Quite possibly. Is it time to frog it? That's that. Just make sure I'm laying these back out. See, I couldn't rotate that way because it's symmetrical block, that portion. And let's get this one done. There we go. We're in. We're in. We're off. Gasp! What are you gasping at? You've been streaming for a year. Oh my gosh, Niku, really? Wow! That's insane. I was trying to work out. I think I started streaming in December, which means I'm not far off a year. I can't believe that. I'm just pressing these now. Now they're all kind of pieced together. I know it looks I'm moving the iron around, but there really is no pressure. I'm doing it with fingertips. There's no pressure down. You just saw. Oh wow! Congratulations indeed, Niku. Well done. There we go. So now we're going to put these 3 bits together. Boink. So let's flip that one over there. And again, got slight variations here. So we're going to pin at the top, pin at the bottom, and let the feed dogs ease in any excess. And that's because we have 2 seams on this side and only 1 seam on that side. And I didn't adjust my 1/4 inch foot. Now, if it was a big easing required, I would have to rip it and fix it properly. But seeing as this is just a test vlog, I'm quite happy just to kind of let it go, channel my frozen, let it go. I can match that seam there. Oh, fantastic. So the first month you can see is from October last year. Wow. Mandy Crafty, it's unusually warm with you. Is it really? I know this morning I put my big coat on because the wind is really blowing, but it's not cold, it's just very windy. Oh, we have looped round on the playlist. I might have to change playlist in a second. Arky, who is not here today actually, Arky has put a whole hexadoodle playlist together designed to earworm me. And there are some very silly songs on there. Oh, get those pins out of the way. Come on, fingers. Do your thing. Whoa, iCat. Snow. That's crazy. Yep, make sure I'm doing these the right way. Make sure that is right. Yep. I love the snow, but it needs to just come down and bring everything to a halt. I hate snow when you've got to try and do things. Oh, you're getting a bit of frost now, Niku. Oh, wow. Yeah, we've just had, it's been the wind. It's definitely felt autumnal with the wind. But other than that, nothing. Oh dear, Aricat. no, Galea, yeah. Mandy Crafty loves the snow. That's because we're in the UK and we don't get the same kind of snow that Ali Cat and Kalea have to contend with, isn't it? There we go. Let's give this a press now. So you're expecting big snow already? Eek. Yeah, because last year was insane, wasn't it? Because we had snow around this time of year last year, if I remember rightly, which is just unheard of. Snowmageddon we had last year. Oh wow, so they refer to it as Snowtober. Oh no, I can't. So do you prepare for that now in advance? Do you kind of stock up on basic supplies and things? Oh, got some easing to do here. Again, just make sure the biggest bit's on the bottom. See, I remember we had snow in the October, and then it went, I think, and then we had a really quite late, because we had snow in February this year, because I remember my son had snow on his birthday, which is really unusual. Oh, it is unusual, so people do stock up in advance. I suppose it can't do any harm, can it, to be kind of ready, just in case. Right, here we go. Let's see how we get on. A bit of easing. Yeah, we're not used to it. We don't have the equipment to deal with it either. That's the problem in this country, isn't it? We don't have, like, snow plows and things aren't even a thing. Oh, we have the jokes like that, Alley Cat, yeah. If they even forecast snow, the supermarket's empty, there's no bread. Everyone rushes out to buy bread and milk as if we're going to live on tea and toast. Yeah, gotta make that French toast. Absolutely. So as long as we've got tea and toast, I think I've just, yeah, I've snapped my thread. As long as we got toast. You joke about French toast. That's what we would call eggy bread, isn't it? When you soak bread in a kind of egg wash and then fry it. So do you guys put salt or sugar on it? It's like an age-old debate in our house. Salt or sugar on eggy bread? Because I like both. Come to Denmark, you have snowplows, but you don't use them. Just might take you up on that one of these days, Niku. I'm convincing hubby we should go to Denmark. There's a couple of studios out there get transferred to. There we are, that was a little bit better. Oh, powdered sugar all the way, yuck. I like maple syrup on mine actually. And suave, oh, you like cinnamon and sugar. See, my husband puts salt on it. Yeah, maple syrup. And bacon. I need bacon. But it has to be back bacon for me. There we go. Nearly there now. Oh, I like Kalea's. You put the cinnamon in the egg mix. Nice. That's a good way to do it. So my hubby's not a big fan of cinnamon, which is a shame because more things should have it in. But just set this seam. It's quite a long one. Fingers crossed it looks okay. Ish. That's shocking there, but we're just gonna let it go. Oh my gosh, Alley Cat. Well, the nice thing is, I think the maths is right, because it's definitely going together, isn't it, guys? The maths is correct. The fabric cuts are correct. So we're nearly there now. I'm going to get these last two done. And I might just start playing with it in Photoshop or something to try and play with the layouts. I'm getting more confident piecing the block as well. Unfortunately, snow is supposed to be further inland. I think it will escape the worst of it. Well, that's good. Fingers crossed then. Does Kiddo like the snow, or does the disruption kind of disrupt the routine for her? Or is a snow day like just the best thing ever? Yeah, it's good, isn't it, Alika? It's looking nice. Looking nice. The problem with test blocks is you always love it, and you've always used like little bits of fabric that you can't replace. You know, I can't get any more of these. I shall chuck it up in Discord for you guys so you can have a go at making one as well. Get that one off as well, because that is going to attach. Light, medium, light, medium. Okay, we might have a bit of a nesting issue later. Oh, remember the 5th of November, Kalea. We'll have fireworks on your birthday for you. It's a weird block because on its own it's not up to much, but like I say, it's how it plays when you have more than one that I'm finding very, very exciting. Oh, Niku! Keep on keeping on. You will get there. She likes the extra day off. Okay. But she doesn't like to play in the snow. Oh, okay. Mine don't mind it. I'm just going to flip that. I've pressed it that way, but this seam's going the other way. You'll get there, Niku. So normally I would press to the dark side, but no, not right now. VA, Virginia. Isn't cold enough just yet for snow. It's really not cold enough here at all for snow. It's unusually, just making sure, yep. I think it's unusually mild here at the moment. So trying to think, Virginia, that's kind of East Coast-ish, not that East Coast-ish, isn't it? Terrible. I'm going to get me a map. I need a big map of the states so I can work out where everything is in relation to everything else. Terrible. So hubby goes to Seattle a lot, so I know kind of there. And you know where Washington is. That's about it. And Nikki, you've had 2 frost nights. Oh wow. Yeah, there's no sign of snow here. But I can usually, we can guess by the East Coast weather, we kind of think, right, 3 weeks later we might see a milder version of whatever you guys get. All depends on that Gulf Stream. I've just broke my thread again. Dang nabbit. The reel is coming to the end and it's just getting caught. Not that you can see. I'm coming to the end of this reel and it's just getting caught down the bottom here. I keep snapping. How am I doing on time? I'm doing great on time. Good. I'm not going to forget the kids. Brilliant. So I'm just going to lay that back to make sure that I'm stitching on the right edge. Not that it really matters with these blocks, but too often I pick it up and by the time I get to the machine I've rotated it and I stitch on the wrong side. Slightly milder weather actually tends to mean more snow. Oh dear. Not good. Let's get these 3 done. Getting excited now, it's nearly done. Nearly done. Alrighty. Just trim off the loose threads. Like I say, it makes sense to just do it now rather than trying to pick them all off later when you're itching to stitch it all together into a quilt. And the problem is you can guarantee those stray threads will be underneath a light coloured background, and then when you've quilted it you'll see this big black thread or something sticking out and you cannot get rid of it. Well, you can, but it's a real pain in the butt. You don't miss the snow, Iron Bands Graham. Or does that mean your move was away from the snow then? Put those together. Nearly there. Oh, okay. Yeah, so you're cold more because it's just a change to the norm. Haha. Oh, I see. So yeah, you've got very little snow now. Fair enough. So it's weird, isn't it? Because obviously your land mass is so much larger, you can kind of predict where snow will be. Whereas I think in the UK you can have 4 seasons in one day here. We just cannot. You can't predict. But you can pretty much say if you go to Scotland it's going to be wetter and snowier than the rest of the country. There we go. That's those put together. Just out of camera shot, aren't they? That's those top rows. Now we're going to put them together to make a unit, and then we're going to stitch them all together and finish this block. We've got these matching points here. We will. Whoa, Jenny went got up at. You got to watch B-Scar doing tacos. He's challenging Timmer to do a stream also cooking tacos, as we've never had a. You've never had a taco? Oh my gosh, Jenny Wren. Taco Tuesday. You have to. I quite like a taco. Although I'm sure our take on them is probably completely different to what the authentic versions are like. But brilliant. So have you had one yet? Or are you going to wait until Timber and you does it on stream to eat it? There we are. I think we are good. We are good. We are pinned. Let's stitch it. Yay, so Yarnaholics having them today. Taco Wednesday, who cares? Kaleo Yeah, should be a really good adult now and mow the lawn for the last time today. Yeah. But it's only going to... Oh, 11 degrees and it's windy. That is cold. You could catch your death out there. I should have mown the lawn this weekend as well, but it's not going anywhere. It'll wait. Oh dear, what was that? Tex-Mex and Mexican aren't really the same thing. No, they're probably not, no. Oh, Nico doesn't have the money for tacos. Well, I just tend to, I mean, tacos for us is basically fried meat inside a tortilla. That's it. We vary which meats we put in. We can't have this running gag in our family, which is probably completely inappropriate. But the all Mexican food is actually the same. It's just folded slightly differently. So, Jenny Wren can't eat anything too spicy, so they would have to be very mild words. I don't put any spices on mine because of the kids, to be honest with you, Jenny Wren. So I tend to just fry off some chicken. Or, I'm going to let this go because... Poor Niku. Niku's typing just set off the auto mod. How? Yeah, how, not ho. I know you meant how. And I hoe the garden all the time with a garden hoe. That does not mean I hire a special person just to do it. Lettuce, tomato, cheese, exactly, that's it. There's nothing else to it, is there, Alley Cat? I know it's the seasoning, but my kids just won't eat it. Oh. It wasn't meant to be that way. I know it wasn't meant to be that way. But it's a valid word. I get really annoyed with Automod picking up words that are actual words. Oh dear. Well, the assumption that you'll be using that word in a negative way. It's not the case. Oh, let's flip that the right way. That could have been interesting. So I definitely need to do some work on figuring out a pressing plan for this and which way I would press this block. But like I say, test block, this will do. This is more testing the maths and the cuts. And the fact that we can't get an entire block from the jelly roll strips as I'd hoped. That I need extra of the light one. But we can just adapt the block now and I'll just colour it slightly differently. There we are. Good enough. There is a little bit of persuasive pressing going on there. I am pushing a little bit there. Get in there. There we go. Let's stick these two together now and then we are done. And now, Kalea, you got modded for talking about gardening as well. For all mod knows. I mean, really? What? Obviously, hump day for the mod, isn't it? Hump day for the mod. Fine. Exactly. What? Why? It does like you now, Anna Lou, yes. Yay! Oh dear me. Well, clearly it didn't pick that up, did it, Niku? If you were going to pick up a word... Give it some candy. No, it can sit in timeout. Can you time out the mod? They're thinking the worst of people. Oh, I see. Is Niku trying to break it now? Are you already done? I'm just doing, literally, this is the last seam on this block. Speed ups. And then, yeah, I'm done. At least on the test. Oh, come here, you. Come here. Took the pin out too early. Oh, no worries, Jenny Wren. Don't you panic. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you. I really appreciate you spending some time. And I'm gutted we're going to miss Clint's intro. I'll have to watch it back on the VOD. Oh no, intro's becoming a thing. I will see you later. I will see you on Monday. Yeah, Monday I'm back. I hope you have a great weekend. Oh, this last seam, bit of a mess. Right. The point in test blocks, isn't it? Oh dear. Flip. Flip it, flip it. God dang nabbit! We messed it up. I've rotated that bit there. Lord, dang nabbit. Right, well, that's okay because that seam was a mess anyway. I had finished B-dubs, but I hadn't. It was a test. It was a test. So I can segue into seam ripping 101. Oh dear. Dear, oh dear. Ay, ay, ay. You noticed it was wrong. How did you know it was wrong? I didn't know it was wrong. Dang it. Dang it, dang it, dang it. Anyway, seam ripping. Everyone has their way of doing it. I basically unpick about every third or fourth stitch on one side, all the way down the seam. I'm trying to disturb the stitching and the fabric as little as possible. I don't want to stretch it or distort it. So I am just going to go all the way down here. Dang it! You have a note on your bucket list that there's a new terrace in house in Danish, and I read it as a new comic. And I was super confused as I had no idea what that new comic would be. It'll be Niku's housing adventures, house building. Oh dear. There we go. We're just going to. I see. I'd caught that seam anyway. It needed doing. It needed doing. Well. And I know I'm using my seam ripper upside down. I never knew what the little bobble was for. You only get the little red bobble on it. I'm supposed to use it that way through the seam. But it doesn't work for me. Perhaps in dressmaking it works. But I'm not trying to do a long seam, I'm just doing a little seam. You should write some comedy IKEA assembly instructions, Niku. Because everyone who moves house ends up going to IKEA to buy lots of stuff. And they always end up arguing for the flat pack. So I've unpicked the stitches on this side. I'm going to flip it over. Flip ya. And I'm going to just hook in there, look, and now just kind of ease that thread out without stretching the fabric. Okay, so we have one big long thread, and then we do have that really annoying, lots of little bitty threads here. You've always used it pointy tip going under the threads, so like this way. Wood glue is the way forward. I think that's the back side. No, it's not. So much fun. So now I can just peel this away and it's not going to stretch or distort. So let's do that one. I can show you again because I have to unpick this one. Oh no, because no. Because of the way I've constructed it, I have to unpick that seam too. Dang it. So apparently when you're doing, if I was doing a long seam, you're supposed to, I can't even get my head around it. Put it in that way with the red bobble kind of going underneath and then pushing away. So it's actually that that's leading the cut. Apparently that stops it from damaging your fabric. But I don't unpick kind of long seams normally. Welcome to Alison's unpicking stream. But normally I don't even need a seam ripper. Oh, you wouldn't get this on YouTube. That's all I'm saying. Ah, dear. Here we go. And we're all human, mostly, some of the time. You use scissors to unpick most of the time. Can you unpick with scissors? Seriously, I would injure myself. I'm gonna be cheeky. I'm just gonna open that up and just get this little bit. Like you're counting all the things, streams. Yeah. When quilts go wrong. When kilts, I nearly said then. I've never made a kilt. When quilts go wrong. This is, you know, the worst of it. It's not that bad. So let's see if I can do this. Or if I can just make more of a mess. Ah, okay, use the embroidery scissors. For some reason, I had visions of you kind of seam ripping with a big set of scissors. Oh, Alicat, yeah, that would be beautiful. So this is quite confusing now. Let's lay this back out because that's that. That is correct. That is how it should be. Which means you've got to stitch that into there and then flip that over. Gosh, I can hear my tummy rumbling. I can feel it too. Well, we're nearly done. We're nearly done, then I can go and get something to eat. This is not Howard patchwork. This is MacGyver patchwork. I am just trying to get this bit done. Nothing to see here. So we have fixed that a bit. Which way does that seam go? It goes that way, so we're going to that way. Hey Yummy Rocks, how are you? Welcome to the stream. Just maybe fixing a small boo-boo. Maybe not. No, I'm not. I am totally fixing a boo-boo. So that is that. So now I can flip that over there and just sew that partial bit there. Nothing happened. Oh dear, dear. Good job it's a test clock, okay? Good job it was a test. Right. Oh no, that's what you did yesterday on a Christmas t-shirt quilt. That's what she was thinking when she put it together. You had to tear a row apart. A 2-inch difference. Oh my good lord. I'm bad scrub. And she expected you to be able to quilt that. Like it would just quilt out. Okie doke. Let's try again, shall we? Look at that. Thing of beauty. Oh no, Niku. That is no good. That is no good. What allergy pills are those? Let's just, oh, I've got my iron hooked up. There we are. Does that look more like it now, doesn't it? That looks more like we've got that strong diagonal running through there now. Dang nabbit. So one more seam to do. and then I can have a play with layouts and how it might look. Yummy Rooks, oh sorry, I've missed that. You're making fall Halloween decorations out of construction paper. Yay! Are these for yourself or just because? Oh, I meant to show Thar. I bet she's gone now. I got the most amazing googly eyes the other week. I will go and grab them after we finish this block. Please don't let me leave without showing you the awesome googly eyes. Because more things need googly eyes, people. I'm kind of on a mission now. I'm going to just keep sticking them to things. Random things in public. Ah. Oh no, Niku. I have I don't take branded ones. I take kind of off-brand ones, but Cetirizine are the ones I have to take. And yeah, I'm not too bad now. I normally kind of March through to September, I'm one a day. I have to. But yeah, fungus spores and dust. Oh God. Yeah, I imagine your current living situation. There's plenty of those. And you have a big book of construction paper, so you're trying to make use of it. Excellent. Hit up the Pinterest. There'll be plenty of construction paper projects. Origami. Hexagami. Right, let's stitch this seam and see if we can't mess it up this time. I broke that thread again. Come on, you. It knows I'm nearly finished, so now it's going to be a pig. And don't let anyone tell you different. Sewing machines definitely have a life of their own. Some days. Come on, come on, come on. And you're done. Pinterest is the place to go. Yeah, if you're missing inspiration or if you're missing 3 hours, Pinterest is where you've just been. I'm terrible. I love it though. I love the Pinterests. That's a little bit stretched, obviously, with the unpicking, but it's not too bad. Hours, exactly, hours have passed. And I think that's why I ended up starting 7 new projects last week. Because I see things and I think, oh, can I adapt that? Could that be? And most of it's not even patchwork or quilting. It's kind of geometry and stuff like that. Okay, this is probably the worst piece of patchwork ever. There we go, 'tis done. I likes it. I likes it a lot. Yay! Oh, I've got to unplug the iron before I burn myself. I know I am. There we go. Last night your machine was very uncooperative. You don't think it likes sewing late at night? Possibly. Possibly, although I suspect it tends to be more me that does that. So here we go, here we go. Ta-da! I like it. It looks good, doesn't it? So yeah, this was from a 1938 newspaper clipping that somebody found in their auntie's scrapbook, but had no further information, and so they don't know what they want to do, or, you know, how to make it or what it was called. So I drafted it for them in electric quilt, and now we have made one. It does look very nice, doesn't it, guys? It looks great. So the maths checks out. Electric quilt does not lie. And so here are some of the variations. Let's see if I can get them underneath the do that again. So this is where, with 16 blocks and just laying them in different orientations, you can get some really quite funky. I like that one, and I like this one. So I'll chuck this in the Discord, guys. If you want to have a go at making one, there's no piecing instructions. It's literally just a block diagram, and it tells you what size patches to cut. But you are more than welcome, guys, if you want to have a go. Have a go, just like I did. And I may well develop this further, I think. because I like that. I like that a lot. It looks really good. It looks really good. And if I put it on the front camera. Oh, yeah, it looks really nice from a distance as well, doesn't it? So I think that needs working on now. I need to make another 15 to make the cloth, the quilt. Gotta get the bird out of the freezer. Yeah, Annalou. It's alright, he's not stashed his girlfriend in the freezer or anything. He just. I'm guessing Niku's having chicken for tea. So I put a pig in the freezer earlier, so. And I didn't kidnap a policeman, I promise. Oh, or murder one even. Awesome sauce. So I'm really pleased with that block. I like that. I think I'm going to play with that some more. I think at the very least I need 3 more of those to make some kind of, you know, bang. It was just a mini quilt. Like I said, that's 14 inches finished. So it's 14.5 inches at the moment, ish. It'll finish at 14 when you've stitched it into a quilt. As the owner of Fudgies, you were worried. I'm sure it wasn't yours. Sure it wasn't yours. Right. Well, I've done everything I wanted to do today. I've caught up on the papers. I will do some more papers though. In fact, I haven't caught up on the papers, have I? Because Mandy Crafty and Nova chucked some bits at us. Yummy Rocks has something cool to show me. What would that be, Yummy Rocks? I don't know if you're on my regulars list though, dude. Oh god, bear with. I gotta find stuff. I can't remember if you're on my. If you've got a link, you can chuck it in the Discord. You can chuck it in here. But if you're not on my regulars list, you might get kicked out. Yummy Rocks. Now you're sounding all weird and kinky, Yummy Rocks. Oh dear. What is it you would like to share with us? Just clear my space so I can get the cutter going again. No worries, I will click on that in a second. Let me get on with the cutting thing. So if you were here at the start of the stream, I was showing the guys my cameo cutter, the silhouette cameo cutter. I think it's very similar to the cricket. The cricket, I think it's called. Oh, Claire, you know what it's all about. I'll have a look in a second, I promise. Yeah, the cricket cutters, which are computerized cutting machines. But I've been messing around and playing with. Oh, it's not going to work. Come on, not recognizing it. I'm playing with cutting custom shapes for patchwork, and so I've been doing these hexy petals. So they're hexagonal, and they tessellate with a hexagon. Well, they don't tessellate past this point, obviously. But they've got a rounded edge on rather than six angular sides. We have 3 angular sides and then a nice loopy bit. So we're cutting those to give away this month. And so far we are up to 12 sets of papers that will make 12 big blocks like this. And I think we're up to 13 now, given the bits I've had this stream. So thank you for the bits. I'm going to try and try and cut another set now so you can see it in action, because it's amazing. And I need to get one. This is my friend's I borrowed, so I need to. Oh, the USBs. I don't like the USBs. Let's see if we can't sort that out. Oh dear. I've just lost the software now. Oh dear. I'm just catching up on chat there because I completely missed chat because I had the other software open. It's really cool. He's a football player but also a singer-songwriter and decided to sing the national anthem before the game and put a country spin on it. Oh, fantastic. And yeah, B-dubs, please do. I think I've already seen this on Instagram this morning. But yeah, please share that picture. if it's the one I'm thinking of. Software. I've got to open the software again now. I'm going to peer through all the things. All the things. What's it called? It's called that. Silhouette Studio is the free software that came with it. Let's move it to the other monitor because it's all over there. Let's put it on this monitor down here. Sorry guys. I am going to get there, honest. Open recent. Where is it? That one. Oh, it claims there's no Silhouette device connected. Well, I know that there is because it's here. We might have a USB problem because it's running through a hub. And my hub may well have just said, enough is enough. Damn it. Okay, I'm not going to be able to print these by the looks of it, guys. Which sucks. Oh, 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 she says, sinking, 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 ready. Okay. Oh, you probably didn't need to hear half that conversation in my head. I do apologise. Not much, but I do. So anyway, Silhouette Cameo or the Cricut Explore, I think, is the other ones, are computerised cutting machines, and you can cut all sorts of cool shapes. And I think all different kinds of materials as well. So Mandy Crafty made me this really awesome t-shirt for on stream. I'm Hexy and I know it. And she's cut, I'm guessing, is this heat press vinyl? She's used her cutting machine to cut out all these shapes and then stuck on a t-shirt for me. I am just sticking with good old cardstock right now. Good old cardstock for now. But I might experiment later. I think it will cut fabric, so I could also be cutting fabric shapes for my patchwork as well. Heat transfer vinyl, ahaha, it is. Right. I'm just trying to have a look in the back here. Can you also share a greenhouse? Sorry, my chat window's hiding underneath something. Yes, you can share a greenhouse you fell in love with, Niku. Please, please, please share Pretty Greenhouse because I really want a greenhouse. I'm going to have like a greenhouse mood board, I think. Because basically, I don't have, my garden's not big enough for a greenhouse, but it doesn't mean I don't want one. You painted the waterfall is a knife. Whoa. Where is the Linky Loo? I'm sure I've seen this one. That's amazeballs. Oh man, were you that happy little painter? Just getting some white. Channeling your inner Bob Ross. Oh, it looks amazing. It's much nicer actually to see it on a big monitor rather than just on my phone. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. If the link doesn't work, tell me. I'll tell you. Let's see. Oh, yes, I want to continue. Oh, God. I don't want to log into anything. Just show me the picture. Oh, wow. Energy efficient using twin wall glazing and a wood. See more. Yep, that looks kind of like, yeah, traditional greenhouse that we would have here. It looks lovely. I'd like one that's kind of got a little shed at the back as well. So kind of some glazed, some sheddy. Some shedded. Oh dear. Whoa, 22 minutes start to finish. Are you serious? Jeez. Well, major kudos to you. That's incredible. I could sit and watch Bob Ross for hours. It's not healthy, but I could. Load that in. And then I'm going to hit the button. It's quite noisy when it's cutting because it's quite an old machine. But you know, it works. It works. And this will cut all sorts of materials, I think. But I'm fine with just papers for now for patchwork. The noise. Niku, I think it looks lovely. Would you be able to have a greenhouse if you move in with your sister? You don't. Qvember. What's Qvember? You're going to do 6 paintings in 2 hours every Tuesday for November. Nice. Right then, we've got to do the shout outs for this. B-dubs. So exclamation mark me. Shout yourself out. If anybody's watching who isn't following B-dubs, Bloodstained Wings, please do. Oh, the noise. Oh dear. Oh, Inktober or Sketchtember. Oh man, I need a patchwork one, don't I? What can we have? What can we have? Fabric February. February. Shall we make stuff in fabric in February? Scared at first, but now you're excited. Awesome. It's the best way to be. Just push yourself. You're amazed what you can come up with. Oh dear. It's nearly finished. I love that it's just doing this. And it's accurate every single time. Oh dear. Why, thank you all. And that's it. Done. Cut my shapes for me. Patchuary. Fabuary. I think we should make stuff out of fabric all throughout February. Right. You like patchuary. Would that be January or would that be February? What am I doing now? I'm going to go here, look, and I'm going to show you. Ooh, just peel away the bit I don't need. Cool stencil thing though, I think. Painting or something. Oh, so you're still waiting for your sister to see if they will get the house. Fingers crossed. Let's see. It will go. It will go. Thinking January. Sounds like a plan. There we go. So I always get 2 extras because I don't want to waste any of the card whilst I'm cutting. And that's it. Another set of papers. You were thinking January. Cool. Well, I'm up for it. I'm sure we could do something. Ta-da! Speaking of greenhouses, you're going to draw a blueprint because you can. Oh yeah, of course. You've got all the funky softwares. I need some twine. What did I do with my twine? Never the twine. Oh. Twine. I dropped it earlier, didn't I? You can tell I dropped it. It's everywhere. Hey, Oggy. How are you doing, missus? I said, I'm not going to be around much longer now. I'm literally finishing up, just catching up on papers for the giveaway jar. You're making blueprints by hand. Nice. All right then. Take it back. I take it back, Niku. That's it now. Everyone behave themselves. The mod is here. Everyone's been very good today. You just got back from school. How did it go? How did it go? Not quite picking up the pace yet, you were saying. Awesome sauce. So it was now 13 sets of papers in the jar to give away. Next Wednesday, Halloween. No worries, give me 2 seconds because I've just remembered I was going to show you the googly eyes, wasn't I? Niku hopes Oggy doesn't see my earlier texts. Oh. I don't think you said anything offensive there at all. So I wouldn't worry about it, Niku. Right, 2 seconds. I'm going to go and find these amaze balls with googly eyes. I've got to figure out what I'm going to do with them, but I need to do something awesome with it. 2 seconds. I have to be careful where I show these next. Kids are behaving, I see. Kids are awesome, Sword. They're back at school. They're back at school. Oh, you're going to blueprint a greenhouse. No worries. Take these googly eyes with you. Look! They're massive! I've just got to figure out what I'm going to stick them on. Because obviously there is an obvious choice where you would stick them. But I need to come up with something to put these on. Besides just sticking them on the front door. Aren't they amazing, guys? That's really noisy, sorry. So if you're in the UK, get thee to a cooperative. I said the car. I think that would be great. Oh, look. I've got a gammy eye there. I was thinking that I should stick them on the rear windscreen of the car. For shores. But yeah, these are in the cooperative. They glow in the dark, so I think on the back of the car could be quite awesome. And they were £1, guys. £1. If I realised at the time, I thought they were more expensive than that. I would have bought like every pack they had going. But they're too big for the sewing. Oh, I don't know. Just put on the sewing machine. The world needs more googlies. Mandy's going to get them for Jay's car. You should. You should. They glow in the dark. Yeah, they've got to be on the car, haven't they? And actually, if they go on the back, because we have red lights on the rear, that would be quite scary, wouldn't it? I know they live by a co-op. Gotta go and get some. That's what they look like. I'm sure they've still got Halloween stuff. But yeah, £1. £1 a pack. I would have bought 20 packs had I realised. And I would have just run around our village sticking these everywhere. Oh, they do, don't they, Mandy Crafty? Need to make some big foam specs for them as well then. Mandy Crafty's other half is an optician. I'm just going to say optician. It's easier than saying what he really is, the whole long word. But so yeah, we're going to find something to do with them. Big googly eye. Oh, just the one eye. Ooh, Cyclops eye. Anywho. Great. Oh, let's get these in shot up there. Look. Hello. I've got a lazy eye. Sorry. I need to get out more. Oh dear. Some weird little hexy monster thing. That's the one, Alley Cat. Yep. Ophthalmologist. I'm at the end of the stream. How long is this? Nearly 4 hours. I've got no words now. No words now. Anyway, I do need to go because I need to eat before I pick up my kids. Before I pick up the kids. So let's have a gander. So I'm going to chuck this in Discord. So join the Discord. It'll be in there. If you want to have a go at making that block as well. Like I say, I'm going to have a play with that now. Do some jiggery pokery on the computer to see how it looks with the different layouts. And one does glasses, one does eyes. Well, I don't know. As far as I know, he does all of them. Oh no, Karen, you missed most of the stream. Well, not to worry. That means you missed me messing up the test block. But I'll be back here again on Monday. Unfortunately, no stream on Friday because I am working away at a quilt show, but I will be back here on Monday. I'm going to dump this in the Discord, so if you want to have a go, there's no piecing instructions or anything else. It is purely the bare bones of the block design, and then I'll work on developing it and figuring out pressing order and stuff like that. And yeah, googly eye. Sorry, I might just stick them to bins all around the village, or hanging baskets. Just have them out the hanging baskets. You've been in and out. Your daughter-in-law's been listening to me. I has enjoyed it. Hi, Karen Walker's daughter-in-law. I'm so glad you've enjoyed yourself. Come again. I will be here on Monday. Goodness knows what I'll be doing on Monday. I've probably started another 7 projects by then. I will try and finish something actually. That's going to be a goal. I'm going to take something with me. She says hi. Hi. Crazy bird. Yeah, I'm going to try and take something with me to the quilt show at the weekend and try and finish something off. Hopefully pick up some binding fabric for that table runner. And then we'll have fewer works in progress than we did when we started the week. So I'm going to have a quick gander now and see if I can find somebody to raid. Any suggestions from anybody? Oh, all my screens went wobbly then. Sorry. Oh. What have I got? Who have I got? Who have I got? I'm going to have a gander. Got nobody. Creation Nation is a stream team that I joined recently. Who is on there now? We've got Girl November. What should we be doing? Oh, swatching chair socks. That sounds interesting. We've got Rangholm. And what's Rangholm? Oh, doing wow. So she's not doing bullet journals today. So let's go with Girl November because it's been a while. I can't tell if she's leaving or not. Is she finishing up? I don't know. We're gonna raid Girl November and hope that she's not finishing up because she looked like she's on right now. But I got no sound, so I can't see. Oh dear. Anyway, thank you so much for the bits and the resubs from Kerry. I really appreciate it. And Nova, if you're still here, you should be in bed. But thank you for the bits. Thank you, Mandy Crafty, for the bits. And thank you, Jenny Wren, for the bits. So let's do some typing things, which I'm notoriously bad at. If you are a regular viewer, one of my more awesome Hexy people, copy and paste that. We'll take that over as a raid call. We are going to. Oh, there is a sub raid one. Yeah, there's a sub raid one, but she's just started actually. Oh, fantastic! I couldn't tell. It looked like she was winding down, but maybe she's winding up. So I'm probably going to raid and run because I really do need to eat something. I haven't actually eaten since last night, so that's too long. So, oh, it's /raid, isn't it? /raid. I need someone to do all this. Does that mean we're going? We are going. We are going. We're going. We're going. Let's watch some socks being done. Thank you guys, as always. Thank you. I will see you soon. Bye. Shut up.